arrived at this island, discovered that there was this barrier reef around it that made you moor your actual ship a little ways away. Discovered there was a giant octopus. Managed to make tentative friends with the giant octopus. And get it to not break up the ship that you wanted to go investigate. Discovered that there was a lot of spiders on that ship. Killed them, found an evil druid, killed that. Dumped all the bodies over the side to feed to the giant octopus, and managed to retrieve um, some kind of sealed, warded box um, that, in the right hands, will be worth a lot of money. You also discovered that your friend Lobu has been talking to this mysterious doll that he dug up from the water. You took it away from him and shoved it in the bag of holding for now. But you also discovered that he has a rather dangerous warlock patron. Dovin is the only other one who had ever heard of them before. Even with all that going over your heads and a little bit of a fight that it okay, word is failing me, ensued between several group members, you managed to get onto the island. Uh, most of the way sneak around and avoid most of the dangers, thanks to quickly finding the correct path. The warded one with the green skulls tacked up. Uh, Killed and incapacitated some druids. Flobu went on to impersonate one and get you into this rather old tower that's been on this island. And using that, managed to get all the way up to the top without alerting the rather nasty dangers that were up top, which included a vampire from a different organization and a master druid, which turned out to be a young dragon. The vampire ran away, but you guys took down the young dragon quite impressively, even after it turned into a dragon again. Again, partly thanks to Levu because of his awesome inability to be poisoned, but mostly because of Dread with her awesome aura that actually scared both of them. The other thing you noticed about Dread is that when she got close to the vampire and sighting distance, this weird shadow kind of rose up around her, and in a different voice, it seemed to be yelling at the vampire. And the vampire gave a bit of a recognition to it before running away.
Oh, what the hell was that?
And that's about where we left off. You guys just killing the dragon with decapitation. And of course, going up to level 7. Uh,
What? Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
What the hell was what, Topaz?
The shadow.
That was Cell,
It was what?
the person I talked to.
Wait, what?
It's the person I talked to. She apparently controlled me, and I need to talk to her about that.
Oh,
Wait, okay, just to be clear, we've already had an argument with Lobu over his thing, and now we're finding out that you have your thing and she controlled you?
Well,
we knew he was talking to someone, but
Well, yes, we knew that, but to see it, why did that vampire know you?
I don't think he knew me. He knew Sal.
Isn't your person supposed to be like kind of an angel or something?
I am not 100% sure. I just know I only can see her, and she's all shadow.
okay.
Noxious
good job,
got
though.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Now's your time. The floor is yours. Anybody else coming out?
No?
Voices,
Dovin?
imaginary friends.
Noxie's gonna tug on Dovin's jacket and hold up a sign.
Mhm.
Are angels usually made of shadows?
Um, not in the stories that I've heard. I confess I don't know much about this one though. Trust Dread. I assume Sal's on our side, considering she helped us. I hope
That-
she's on our side. That was
that-
pretty terrifying to
That
see.
Vincent didn't seem to like her very much anyway.
Noxie has another question. How much are dragon parts worth?
Who
Oh.
knows? Shall we find out?
Man. We should have asked it where its hoard is.
Probably somewhere on this island, I have to imagine.
I mean, we also, I mean, do we think we have to worry about Vincent coming back? He fucking figured out the teleportation circle, I guess.
Speaking of, should I dispel that?
Let me ask Sal and talk to her at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then I'm not going to stand on it while you all decide what you're going.
Probably a good idea.
All right, so I kind of look out. Can I see Sal in the room?
Yes, and to everyone else, again, your eyes just kind of turn white, and you kind of go into the altered space where you can talk to her. You do see her in the room. She kind of somewhat turned away from you, just in her shadowy form. Just kind of from the way that her head is tilted, it's like she's staring at her hands for a moment. And,
Sal.
and she turns, and again, with no eyes, you can't tell for certain that she's actually staring at you, but it's just like the feeling, the impression of the shadow looking at you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you.
Just warn me ahead of time next, please.
I didn't. It's been years since I've seen that bastard.
Do we need to worry about him coming back here now?
And she kind of looks over towards where the portal thing is. He'll probably check it out eventually, but he'll probably send lackeys first, or he'll wait on the other side to see if we attempt to cross. I don't know which sigil he was using, where he might be.
So your advice would be to close it down completely?
That would be a good idea, to re-break the connections that they worked tirelessly to build up.
Are any in our party capable of doing that?
Well, I imagine if you yourself and the barbarian could probably break enough of the little magical enchantments that'll take more doing once more to get them up again. That'll keep anything that has this sigil and has access to one of the teleportation towers to get from getting here. If I knew how to close it off, I would tell you, but these things are from a long time ago, and I was never one for history.
This island is now clear from all the undead?
No, there are still, I imagine, ghosts wandering about, and I think there might still be some of the druids around. This doesn't look like their main encampment, but without their leader on this island, and if we take out this circle and perhaps find some way of trapping this tower to keep them from coming back in, I imagine they'll be effectively stopped here. That's, sooner or later they'll either run out of food with the degradation they've done to this place, or they'll try to swim away, at which point the octopus will get them.
Alright.
The one problem is that, yes, there are still undead here, but they're not going to threaten anyone else, whereas this circle being active, especially with the Dark Knights involved, would be a threat.
Okay, thanks, Sal.
You're welcome, and again, I'm sorry, Dread.
It's alright, just to warn it ahead of time next time.
I will do my best, but it'd be better if I just don't do that. It might be bad though if I see him again, see some of the others.
Who is he to you?
And she gets quiet for a moment, and then asks, "Dread, do you know exactly what I am?"
I don't know. I have
I-
no idea.
I'm a reaper, Dread. I serve the goddess of death, and I have served her since I died, since I used to be mortal.
A reaper? What are, what is a reaper exactly?
Well, we are we serve the goddess of death in capacities of freeing the dead who are trapped, um, the the undead who are unwilling. Those not unlike wraiths and such, they prowl this world. Sometimes they fall into the Shadowfell, other times into the spirit planes, and we hunt them. And well, to others it would simply be destroying them, but it's really not. It's freeing what's left of them to be rejoined. If it gets a little bit complicated, it's hard to explain sometimes, but it's making sure that the dead get where they need to go.
So, in relative terms, according to these, would you be more of an angel than undead, or what?
Not not exactly an angel, though. I'm not in the classical sense. I'm not a celestial creature, but I am joined to my god, and I'm beholden to her. Angel is one word. There are others. I do prefer Reaper to all of
All
those.
right.
But to answer your earlier question, he was the one who killed two of my children.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sal.
Yes. It was one of the last images I saw on this side of the world before I was killed myself. On that side of the world. Maybe sometime I'll tell you the story of it.
I would like that.
And with that, you're released back to the others.
Okay.
So you see basically
Scarlet Brotherhood.
Dread's eyes were opaque for a bit. You didn't actually hear her talking, but you could. It's just like you got the sense that she was in another place, and her eyes come back as kind of in the middle of whatever conversation you guys are having.
Once I actually come out of it, I would walk over to these sigils and start breaking them, trying to break them with my sword.
All right.
Well, that's exactly what we were gonna do.
Technically, the sigil is would have been painted in the center of it, and that sigil is now currently gone. But there are other connectors around it, and there's also a sigil outlined on the wall that seems to be the location for this particular tower.
Noxie, while she was in that trance, was going to be like looking at the sigil, trying to figure out what it exactly was.
Roll an Arcana check.
Wait, is there a map of all the teleportation circles?
If you have one on you, no one has spoken up if they have something with sigils on it.
Well, you said it was on the wall.
There's a sigil on the wall that's most likely corresponding to this particular location. Like if somebody, arrived here by accident, they would see the sigil on the wall and know where they were, sort of thing. Noxie. Okay, so your question again, Noxie?
I wanted to know what exactly. Like, I want to know what they were doing. The ghouls that were messing with it.
Along with the circle itself, which is very old, you see like these several little balls that are on the ground. They look like they were the sort of things that would be the equivalent of magical batteries. That they were apparently being used to power up this circle. Um, there are other markings down there that look like, you know, like some of it's very old. The circle itself looks like it's very old, but there's also some newer drawings etched in that probably the equivalent of a paint restorer on an old canvas. Like somebody had to come in, bring out old style equipment, and just refinish it just so that it looks good again. Therefore, can be used. But in the ceremony to activate it, more energy was needed to pour in there. And Dread is currently undoing the work that that the two people up here have been doing for a while now. As she starts scraping away at it.
Would any sort of dispel magic help Dread, or is what Dread doing more than enough to
It's
break apart the circle?
Is Noxie going to explain what she's noticed to Dovin? Or as best as she possible, written on note cards.
Yeah, as much as you could, to Dovin.
If that's the case, Dovin would probably be smart enough to realize that the spell would have only worked when the magical batteries hadn't been drained yet. That it's not a currently active spell. It's a very specialized enchantment that again, the way that what Dread is doing is going to be more effective than attempting to cast a spell on it.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you, Noxie.
Gives you a thumbs up.
Is there any other stuff in this room? Like,
there's the big dragon corpse. Roll investigation.
I'll help him with that, and be curious to see. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it's a really big. It's a large green dragon corpse, and you just see lots of scales and bits and pieces of the dragon. It's really difficult to tell anything else from there.
Oh yeah. While we're here, could I quickly I use 3 crossbow bolts. Can I try and retrieve as much as I can?
Sure. Roll a 1d4. Sadly, as you look around, you find 3 broken crossbow bolts. All of them apparently were destroyed during the battle.
Damn. Okay.
Is there anything worth harvesting off of a green dragon?
Roll an Arcana check.
I'll help with that.
Yeah. You kind of look at it and think that even if you don't find the dragon's hoard, if you can properly, harvest this, even though it's a young dragon and not anything really great, you can probably find, find people that want to buy bits and pieces of it, or just keep some of the pieces yourself as a status symbol. You could sell the hides to various enchanters, teeth and tongue and eyeballs and stuff like that can all be sold as reagents, all sorts of stuff.
I'm gonna try to start harvesting it, partly out of intellectual curiosity, but also because I know.
Do you have things like a knife or a dagger on you? Or any sort of herbalism kit?
I have an herbalism kit.
Okay, you probably have something that can help you out there.
You want to direct me while I suppose you probably have pretty good. I've got knives though. You want knives?
Yeah. If that's the case, Lubu can roll me a survival check with advantage. This process probably will take several hours if you guys are willing to chill out here for a while. They're getting all sorts of good stuff. If that's
I'm down
How do
for a little.
How do we feel about staying around for a little bit?
Dread is busy breaking the circle so nobody can pour it in while you're here.
How confident are we we've gotten rid of all the threats? Douchebag did get away. We might break this circle, doesn't mean they don't have other ways to get here.
Oh yeah.
We might not want to sit in here.
from my spot where I am, I say, without their leader, they will fall apart.
Well, it sounded from what the other guy told us there were several different groups. So maybe they'll fall apart, but their allies might pick up the slack. And if he went running to one of them, we might have company.
Well, we have to, if we want to get what we want from this dragon, we will need to stay in here. We can fit a lot on the bag of holding, but I don't think we can fit a whole dragon in.
All right, then what is this over here?
That's the hatch you came up through. It's
Okay.
it's one that can be opened and closed, therefore it can be secured.
Okay. So maybe we need to
Jim?
secure it. Try to secure it.
I think. I mean, did we want to like secure it with like a weapon or something? Kind of like a, I don't know, fucking javelin through
So-
it.
Dovin, since you are the one with the bag of holding, how much weight does it currently have in there?
That's a funny question.
Because they're good to up to what, 500 pounds, more?
So,
That's right. We fit almost all of you in there at one point, didn't we?
I don't remember off the top of my head how much can. But in there right now,
Like, what's in there exactly? What do you have in the bag of holding?
money, the doll, a few random items.
Because I
Oh,
only
the
seen
box? No, not the box. wasn't
the
on
box was the wrong dimensions. Because the main things I remember, without looking at it directly, I remember the doll, money, and I think the mirror. Wasn't the mirror in there?
I think I've got the mirror currently.
Okay. Oh, so you had the mirror on your person. All right.
there. Mirror of the past.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's another stupid question. I'm just throwing them out there. We don't have Speak with Dead. Do we have any divinations? Tell us what we need to do next. Okay, resounding response. That's great. We're good to go. All right, let's make sure that we block this portal well enough so that if 100 assassins teleport here and try to kill us, we can't possibly get out in time.
Well, it's useful to have Cogsworth set on top of it. Because Cogsworth will at least move when you tell him to. Even when his eyes are both are blank.
Well, yeah, as long as he's not having an argument with himself.
But anyway, so Dovin and Lobu are working on the body at the moment. You're gonna be spending the next couple of hours doing that. And for that survival check, you do manage to get a good bunch of the teeth. You get the eyes, but you realize these things are gonna go bad really fast. Like, you have a bag of holding, you don't have a bag of holding.
That was really good.
But, But, the hide should last a bit, and you can probably, take them to a tanner. The hide and scale. The teeth should be fine. They can probably made into a lot of stuff. Alchemy. Cogsworth has alchemy vials, I believe. So you should probably get, store the eye, let's see. No, the eyes might be too big to fit in there. Trying to think about where you can store the eyes before they completely turn to mush, so that you don't lose them or something.
I don't have anything though.
But you can at least harvest teeth. And after about an hour of, working on this and, feeling a bit tired already,
So
Lobu, go ahead.
Do some of us get a short rest?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of you guys can get a short rest. Dread, was completely wrecked the look of it. It looks like probably in worse condition than the people who came to this island found the circle. Thereby ruining its connection. After about an hour of working on the corpse and finally flipping it over to remove more scales and hide sections, you've already got like the claws and the let's see, uh, you've got probably all of the claws at this point, and I've gotten a good chunk of the teeth. Anyone know offhand how many teeth a dragon have?
A lot.
Because I'm forgetting teeth amounts. I'm imagining it's more than human teeth, and I can't remember off the top of my head how many teeth a human has.
32.
Yeah, 32. I
Because
think.
the number 50 keeps coming to mind when it comes to a dragon's teeth and how many teeth you manage to harvest. I think it has more than that. So
Many teeth as you want them to have.
I'm gonna say that this one has 50 teeth that you managed to pluck out of its head. And as you guys roll over the body, Dovin, you spot that it had landed on some kind of staff. It's made from some kind of gnarled wood. It has a green skull on it. The skull itself, the form of it, looks like it probably came off of something small, like a kobold or a young lizard folk. That was then treated and turned green in color and placed atop the staff.
Okay.
If you recall, if you think back to the battle for a moment, this seems to be the same staff that the druid was using before he turned into a dragon.
Okay. Does it seem magical in nature, or does it just seem like a focus?
Uh, roll. Do you wish to do you use detect magic or just roll Arcana check? Make an Arcana check on it.
I can do both.
Whichever one you feel more comfortable with.
I'll try Arcana.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like probably a good focusing item. Looks kind of fancy. Something a boss of a group would hold.
Okay, I'll put it in the bag of holding.
All right. Let's see. So after several hours, pretty much the night seems to be over. There's no real indication here, but it's like kind of like an internal clock sort of situation, where like you woke up just as the sun was going down for here, and now it's the sun is coming up again.
Oh, does that mean it's a dawn?
Yes. But it's like hard to tell because this place, even with the windows, they're not bordered on this level. Um, the windows here are just everything outside is very enclosed. Very all the trees are like taller than this, and they're still covering everything and making it very difficult to see.
Do we? How long until we start having to worry about exhaustion? Because our internal
No,
clock
you
is kind of screwed up.
you can always take another long rest and reset it. But I mean, if you're just gonna be on the ship, you probably don't have to worry too much about that.
If there's a chance people want to take a long rest here, there's something I'd like to do in the meantime. But I won't make everyone stay for a long rest if we're ready to get out.
I'd like to get moving a little bit. I promised that good octopus boy some dragon parts, so I'd like to toss him some meats.
Well, that's you spent a couple hours harvesting. You've got some bits of dragon, like a dragon leg, a dragon arm. Some of the nice probably the belly fat where you could probably make the equivalent of dragon bacon from. But of course, since it's just going to an octopus, it's not going to be cooked up like bacon first. But yeah, that octopus did warn you of this dragon.
What are you trying to do, Dovin? Is it something you can't do on the ship?
Well, there's a lot of dead forests and stuff around here. and I was gonna try and revitalize it, but that takes 8 hours to do. So that's kind of an ask.
That's up to the party. What does the party wish to do?
I mean, I'm for it, Captain.
I guess there's no harm in you doing it here. We need to rest anyway, yeah?
You guys have currently been resting for several hours.
Yeah, well, like, do we have a plan afterwards here? Anywhere? Do we have a plan? Because if not, I mean, fuck it, why not?
I feel like mission accomplished, right? We
That
just get out of here and go fight that war.
Thalia speaks up and says, "Well, we do have that box to deliver now. Since it can't be opened, it looks like the only way we're going to get money out of it is to deliver it to its intended recipient, the person who owns it."
Right, so we have options.
Who owns it?
Let's see here. Getting the name right now. Come back here. Oops, no, that's not the one.
Albrecht.
Yeah. Thalia said that it's owned by a Obrek who can mainly be found. Let's see, I actually wrote this down. Where did that note go? I hate when notes go missing. He said something about the guy living in the capital, I believe, but also having a home over back in Orin, the port you guys just came from.
So we could deal with that. We could go deliver that, get money. We could, as Lobu said, leave and just say we did what we did here. Whatever the fuck that may have been.
Well, we had Scarlet Brotherhood at one time in Saltmarsh
We did.
because of that butler of the guy. Everybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're involved with all of this. And one of the people also involved in this got away through that circle. So one way or another, did we send a raven or something to Saltmarsh, the counselors, and let them know?
I believe you did. I seem to recall you guys doing that.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Yeah, because
But-
you did that, didn't you, Devin?
Yeah.
But I mean, we have the problem with the Sahagin, and everybody's forgotten about that because we're doing all this other stuff. But that all is about to come down, and now we have this information. And where's the place that we need to go? How far is that from Saltmarsh to turn over this box?
Well, Thalia thinks for a moment and says, "Well, if he's at the capital, that's a bit to the north. You'd have to actually travel by road to get there. But he's sometimes down in Orin, so we might be able to, we might be able to just go back there and see if when he shows up. Might be able to, if his butler's currently in Orin, we might be able to talk him into paying us for the box."
Where's Lauren again?
Orin is, I believe, only about 25 miles away. That's where you guys came from. It's 25 to 30. Let me look at my map. Yeah, that's right. That's not this map. That's that map over there. Where's my close-up map? Here we go. Close-up map has the actual miles in it. Yes, 25 miles. So it's 25 miles to Orin. It's looking like about 30 miles to go to Saltmarsh from here. So both are actually fairly close to your current location.
How far is Saltmarsh from Warren?
Saltmarsh and Orin are less than a day away from each other.
Okay.
They're on the same coast. Pretty much, you just go south from Saltmarsh, you get to Orin. Go north from Orin, you get to Saltmarsh.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Noxie and Dovin already did that route before they met you.
Not a bad dragon, if I do say so myself.
So you guys come out from your harvesting and finding a staff, and Dread breaking the circle and probably meditating. Would do you be meditating, Dread, or do you have some other ritual?
I would be meditating, yes.
Okay. And find that Topaz is in the middle of doing tattoos again. And Cogsworth / Fumble, are you guys ready?
Ready as I will ever be.
All right.
I just got here though, so I'm working on getting my level up.
Okay. Well,
So go ahead and keep doing what you do.
Okay, so basically, when you guys' eyes, come back to focus and you see the room around you, you'll discover that your companions have walked you over to the hatch and have stood you there to keep it from opening, in case anybody comes into the tower.
Do they do this a lot when I'm gone?
How much?
You just got door jammed.
Oh, whoops. Too used to sidekick.
Wow, dear.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I have a rolling dice roller on the under RP games if you need to use that.
I was just using
Nice.
it. Thank you.
You roll one for me?
Oh, have you not rolled yet?
But yeah, you kind of come back and you see Topaz busily doing a really nice looking dragon tattoo. And is that on your skin or on Volan's skin, Topaz?
That's on mine.
Yeah.
She wants one, she can have one too.
Whoa. I want one.
Soon. Something I did want to bring up as we're returning the box. Returning that might get us a friend in a somewhat high up place. Could we see if he can put out some leads? See if we can find someone to return Fumble to her own body?
Is your character even aware of that yet?
Well,
Because-
I assume that Fumble and I have been talking in our mind, and she wants to try and
okay.
get her own body.
Okay, so that would probably come as a potential surprise to the rest of the party then.
Yeah, Cogs has no clue how to do it, but he figures having
Neither
a
of
rich
us know how
friend
to do
would be
it.
a very good start.
Thalia is kind of staring at Cogsworth now and going, "What do you mean, own bot? What the?" And is like looking very confused. He's getting used to the idea of a malfunctioning Warforged, but this is news to him.
We have separate memories, and we're very different from each other. We feel that while I have no problem with her being here, she's not naturally occurring in my own.
Nope.
And as useful as some of my spells were in that last fight, I could feel Fumble very much disliked having to sit back while the others fought and risked their lives.
Get used to it, Thal. Seems to be a theme in the party.
You just
Everybody's
see
got inner voices they talk to and shit.
you see Cogsworth head start like moving back and forth like like someone's rattling jail bars.
Oh,
Let me out of here!
oh, so like the body is like
Yeah.
wiggling back and forth, but at the waist it's completely still.
Mhm. Let me out of here!
She has control of the torch at the moment. On the right side, your friend survived. Dovin, thank you for assisting us in getting Squish upstairs.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm going to run over to Squish and start with your arm.
I just cleaned these.
Lebu, roll intelligence check for me. Now that you finished stowing the dragon parts away in the bag of holding. Is that supposed to be as a advantage?
Oh no, definitely not. Sorry
Okay,
about that.
so yeah, Lebu's completely clueless. Got it. Just making sure.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but you clearly don't know how to do it.
I'm not trying to do
dragon?
anything.
No. See, that's for me attempting to prompt character knowledge, in case there's something that they might be overlooking.
And something I did want to ask, as I'm seeing Lobu pack away the butchered parts. There's nothing left to pick, is there? What in regards to dragon hide or meat or horns, teeth, anything I could use for my potions?
We got a bunch of that stuff. We got all these teeth, 50 teeth, all the claws, a hide. It's in general bag of holding.
You also didn't find any actual horns. If this dragon did have horns,
Well-
they probably broke at some point.
Okay. Yeah, out of character, I didn't know if green dragons had horns.
They might, but
Be right back. I gotta get the dog.
all right.
And
But
while he's gone,
the-
I'm gonna kiss Squish on the face.
But the dragon parts are actually for communal property. They're the bag of holding isn't any one person's thing. It's for the whole party. And now it's full of dragon parts, that weird doll, and a strange staff that Dovin picked up, and
I
money.
hope we don't have the dragon part. Oh, Robert, don't you?
If the parts are not usable, I would like a tooth.
I'm
There
sure
you go.
we could take the hide to that smith, get something made up for Topaz or Lobu.
Out of character, your face is me now.
All right, so
Go ahead, I give
so-
a tooth to Dread and Volan and whoever else wants one.
cool.
Will you hold on to mine? I want to get it made into a necklace when we get to town.
Of course.
Oh, you too.
Thalia grins. Hey, you're gonna make me one too? I mean, I did help. I didn't actually get to fight the dragon, but I did kill some of these other things out here.
I'll go ahead and give him one too.
Thank you, Dovin. And he pats you on the head.
Actually,
Fumble, like
I'll take a small vial of the blood. I don't need much.
Or what?
I'm going to put it in the ink.
a necklace.
Where am I gonna put it?
Your neck.
I don't have one. We have yours, but I don't have one.
We're working on getting one. When we get to Oran, we can see if there's a bodybuilding contest in town.
Anyway, as Fumble and Cogsworth continue to argue with each other, what would you guys like to do?
Guess we're heading back to the ship at this point, aren't we?
Where did we fall on the Dovin helping the nature?
Yeah.
It sounds like we're eager to get out of here. That's fine.
We could chill at the ship while he does that. It's not like we're gonna leave him without him.
What's he doing?
He wants theoretically he wants to spend 8 hours revitalizing nature to try to bring the life back to the forest.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Wouldn't you rather? I mean, you would do that out in the forest, right?
I'm not sure if I could help, but I am a cleric. I do excel at bringing things back to life.
That's all right. It's sort of a specialty of mine, but
All right.
we really don't have to. We got other things to do. Although, thought just occurred to me, you guys could look for the dragon horde while I do this. But yeah, we can just go.
I wouldn't mind searching that room with the desk a little more thoroughly too.
Yeah, you guys really only found that book in that desk that nobody could read.
I forgot about that book.
Yeah, when we have another moment, I'm gonna cast comprehend languages on it. But I figured I'd
And
wait till we
you
were
looked.
back on.
Did you look through it at all before doing that, Devin? By the way.
Yes, I think I did.
So roll me an intelligence check. Yeah. As you're like thinking over, like Lobo mentioned, looking through the desk again, you think back to that book you got in your things and realize that you saw that sigil in the book before you saw it on the wall in there. It was one of the ones marked with different words than a lot of the rest of them. Like there's the book itself. There's a whole lot of stuff in there that just had a picture of a sigil and the same word phrase next to each of them. And then there's a handful that had other words next to them. Some of them looked like they're repeating, except for some letters. It's like, without knowing exactly what it said, you don't know what it means exactly, but you saw that same sigil that's on this wall, that's in the wall over here in the book with different words.
Okay, I'll take the book out, find the page. I know you can't understand any of the words, but I'll point out to everybody that the sigil on the wall is in this book. And I look at other pages. Are there other sort of sigils in the same sort of manner? So like maybe different look.
Well, all the sigils have similar theme, but then they're all written in the same hand. Like you can theorize that they're all part of the same closed network. That they require a specific activation circle and not a general teleportation circle to use and access. But each of the sigils seem to be like networked somewhere to some location, and this book has research on them.
Okay.
Can I use the mirror of the past on that book?
Oh, sure. You pull out the mirror of the past, and question: how many times a day can you use that thing? I'm just curious.
I think it's. Let me look real quick. Once it's activated, the mirror gives its information for 1 minute or less and then returns to normal. Can't be used again until the next dawn.
Okay, and it's just dawn now, so if that's what you want to use it on, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. It's in here. Just want to double check looking at it. Player hand. No, wait, where's that? Oh, magic items. Duh. Okay, so you pull out the hand mirror, look at the item, and just gaze into it. Let me get you out here. Question. Yeah, you were in that room. You saw the vampire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you put down the mirror, you see that same vampire, the drow. You're in some other location, and he's like looking at another book, like some old, some really old dusty book, with a bit of writing in. In fact, the writing looks like it's in common, and he seems to be sitting there transferring over information in whatever language he's writing in into this particular book. Like you can kind of see him, and he's like just he's using a pen of some kind. You don't know what it is at first. It's like this weird, looks kind of metallic thing in his hand, and he's picking up the pen, and he's also picking up this weird little this weird little, not exactly a box. It's like almost like a rock that's shiny on one side, and he's like tapping at it, and it's glowing. And he seems to be like holding it over there, looking at the page, doing some things, and it's like weird. He's like playing with these sort of items, and he keeps writing stuff down in the books, and you catch like different phrases in the original book, different city names, and one of them catches your eye because it's a city you are aware of, and that is Midronis. And he looks at that and frowns, and he writes something else, like how the Dovin's looking at it and going like, there's all these things that have the same markings next to it. The one that he wrote after looking at the one in the other book labeled Midronis that you recognized, he's writing something different from the other stuff. It's like one sigil writing something down in his book and writing a different phrase than all the rest of them that
Does
he
it
keeps repeating.
does it kind of look like he's using the stone to somehow encrypt this new version?
No, it's weird. This weird stone, this weird flat glowing stone thingy, it keeps displaying different words and showing pictures. And it occasionally makes noises at him, and he just scowls at it and then picks it up and seems to be holding it in both hands, putting the pen down that he was writing in the book, and and just like tapping at it, and it seems to make there's different words and characters showing up on there, then closing it back again.
Does so it seems like one last question, then we can end this. Does it seem like magical translation, the stone?
Roll an Arcana check for me. At first, you would be willing to think that yeah, that's got to be magic, but you look at it and go, no, wait, I was hearing something about that, and wait a second, didn't I see something like this once that fell into the water somewhere, and it was completely useless. It was this glowing flat stone thing, and it would light up, but it would light up, it looked like numbers, and then it would shut down again. It looks like the same thing, and it wasn't magic. Somebody stared at it with detect magic and said, no, this isn't magical, it's lighting up for some other reason, I have no idea what the fuck it is. But definitely isn't magic.
Only have the slimmest recollection. All right, thank you.
It's one of those things, yeah. And then the mirror goes dark. So you guys see Lobu stare at the mirror for about a minute.
Okay, so he was translating in that book from, or translating or no, not translating at all. He had some sort of secondary book. There was Madronis is mentioned, so I think that maybe there's a teleportation circle in Madronis, and he kept.
Where the hell is that?
Where is that?
Intelligence check, guys.
I'm not even gonna make it. I don't
Sure.
think I know what it is.
Yeah, Lobu isn't sure either. Devin, you immediately realize, oh yeah, that's the capital of Keoland.
Yeah, I feel that.
And he had some sort of stone that looked really familiar that he kept tapping, and it kept producing lights. Does anyone remember anything about that?
Tapping a stone that produces light.
Yeah, someone did a detect magic on a stone, and it wasn't magic, but something else was going on, and fell into some water. I'm only barely remembering.
Devin, with that history check still active, you hear that and go, huh? Back in my home city, back in Rivenwood, you remember some of the tourists from the south, from the continent of Eberus. They would come in and they'd walk around with strange glowing flat stone-like things that stone and glass sort of things that would constantly glow. They would constantly be staring at them. And occasionally they'd hold them up to their ears and seem to be talking in them. And they would always be the weirdest things you'd ever seen. It was like there's always from the annoying tourists from Eberus that would carry those things around.
Yeah, so I described seeing these weird people, basically. I guess I asked Lobu like what the shape of it was, and I sort of compare it to what I've seen in my experience. Does it seem like the same?
Yeah, it sounds like they probably have whatever those were, and you might have heard the name of it. It was like some sort of they kept saying, no, this isn't magic, this is tech. And it's like it's all over down there, and it's like we're building we want to build more up to the tech, but most of the people up north don't like this stuff, blah blah blah. You'd heard rumors and all that. I mean, there was apparently a little bits of this technology making its way into Rivenwood and had been for the last 100 years, but Rivenwood is has been fine with what it's got, and we don't need the tourist money all the time, but
we like to keep things old school.
Yeah, and you don't want the pollution that some of the countries in the south have been getting because of this technology boom that the druids over in sorry, the druids in where's my map of Eberus? Come here, Eberus map. The druids over in oh, that's my my one that just has the other location. That's perfect. Sorry. I always hate it when I'm looking at the wrong map. It's like, I'm looking at the older map instead of the recent map. But there's some of the druid countries down in Eberus that definitely hate Galora. That's right. Like the elven druids of Galora really hate the fact that their neighbors their neighbors in Hellspring are highly industrialized, and it's like they're constantly throwing out pollution, and I don't the somewhat alliances of the various races in the unincorporated but still listed as a country, though it's not exactly a country, area known as Titrol also really doesn't like the like that either, and sometimes the people that have left the area and gone up north have really much complained about the industrialization of those countries, spreading pollution around, and really complain about all this technology stuff. So the technology boom hasn't hit the north of Meeg. It just occasionally shows up.
Well, if vampires are using it, I'm not for it.
Thank you, Lobu.
No problem.
So I guess, yeah, I'll take a look at this when we have a moment. But did you guys want to look for the dragon horde, or do we just want to get out of here?
We're gonna send the animals out. We're gonna ask them where it is, and we're gonna ask the mushroom people.
Oh, that's smart.
It's very smart.
In that
So,
case,
on our way back.
I'm
The shipway.
gonna go ahead and start casting. And if it doesn't work out and you guys want to leave early, that's fine. I can just stop casting the spell. But otherwise, I'll go ahead and get started.
Oh, we should tell them. We should tell the Squish. Cover your ears. We should tell them that we're gonna fix their forest, but only if they tell us where the treasure is.
Oh my god.
Does he even have ears?
It makes a weird
It's a fucking-
murring noise.
I forgot I can't speak our language.
Oh, ew. No, get it away from me.
So I'm gonna go outside of the tower, just sort of right in
Alright.
front of the
Roll
door.
roll a perception check. Alright. Go ahead. You're right outside the door.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go outside the tower, right outside the door, and start casting plank rope.
Okay. Moved you guys back down here. Devin is outside. My cat's on my lap. Alright. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
Go out to find mushroom people.
Yeah, let's go find
Alright, so everyone's leaving the tower. Got it. There we go. Oh, I'm missing 2 people. Okay, there we go. Where is... There's Noxie. And there is that. There you go. Okay, so you guys are now outside the tower. Some of you are looking for the mushroom people. So roll a perception check.
just anyone who's looking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do apologize. I was chasing after Dutch again. What we're
No
doing just
worries.
now? See perception checks.
Yeah. So definitely, Volin, as you guys step outside and, Dovin is preparing to start his spell, and you guys are starting to look around for, mushroom people. Volin, you do take notice of several blights nearby that you guys had managed to stealth past earlier that are clearly you're arranged somewhere around the tower base to attempt to keep people out that aren't meant to be there. But you guys had actually managed to sneak by them again the first time around. But now you spot them before Dovin and Lobu can blunder into them.
I'm gonna point them out to the group. Do we want to take them out real quick, or do we just want to sneak past them and keep going?
I say we take them out, especially if we're going to be leaving Dovin around here.
I agree.
You might as well make use of your ghost hunt while it lasts.
Does anyone want to be very spiky?
Spiky.
Yeah, I've got a new power.
New power.
Let's just tilt
This one have any extra growth?
Yeah, you like burst all these cool purple spines all over your body, and then if anyone tries to hit you, they get hurt.
So yes, it does involve more growths.
No. Those things.
All right, more for me. So I cast it on myself.
There's so many.
Oh,
They're all chumps, though.
Yeah. So if you can decide either to fight with them now or just go past them. It's up to you guys.
I vote fight.
Yeah, we can't leave Dovin alone.
Alrighty. Well, for initiative, please, then. Since you have been alerted to them and they're still otherwise camouflaged, you get advantage on them and they'll be your round first.
Did I not? I distinctly remember wiping it.
Am I a part of this initiative?
Yeah, because you can't. It's like I think you're not able to start the ritual until this area's been cleared out of enemies.
Okay.
I just have to also remember to roll for the NPC. Fun times. Yeah, you guys have gotten good at spotting blights, especially in this area. So that 20 really sold it for you. Because normally they're practically invisible, among other things. But since the area is completely dead, and you guys are aware of things like blights, I figured Nat 20 definitely would be able to see that. Alright, Dovin goes first.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Where would you like to square?
Try and hit these four on the bottom right.
Okay, let's see. Fairy Fire is how big? And what color would you like it to be?
It is purple.
Okay. And
20
20-foot
foot
cube.
cube.
Alright, so it doesn't look like you'll be able to get all 4 of them where they are.
Okay.
But you
that's
can
fine.
decide where you wish. Do you wish that stay where it is, or do you want to like?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So we'll get 3 of them at
So
least.
DC 15 dex save.
Mhm. Okay, so the top one actually saves, the other 2 do not.
And then I'm gonna move more towards the center of the group.
Okay. Lebu.
Who's gonna move right here, and he's gonna be like, "Come at me, dum dums," and attack.
Okay,
Twice.
that first one's dead.
Oh, never mind. I can only really get that first guy. And then I'm just gonna, with my bonus action, then I'm just gonna be like, "Come on, fight me, fight me."
Dahlia looks around. These guys are easy at least. Pulls back his short bow and aims for the vine blight up here. He manages to hit it. Good. See, I don't think he's got sneak. He's got extra attack yet. Nope, he does not. Let's see. Needle blight. Needle blight steps a little bit forward and launches spines out at Topaz. Missing. Vine blight. Let's see. Vine blight can't see around everyone else. Goes over here. Let's see. How far can I reach? 10 feet. Okay. So it goes over here and tries to wrap vines around Cogsworth. And misses. Volan, your turn.
Move 5, 10. Come down with the great axe.
Alright.
And if it's still up, I'll come down again.
Yep, it's still up. Vine blights are hardier than twig blights, but not that hardy. And the rest of it falls apart. Little bits of shriveled vines just kind of collapsing to the ground. Cogsworth, fumble. What would you guys like to do?
Fumble is thinking of something, so just one moment.
Alright. So, Cogsworth, what would you like to do?
She's taking the turn, I believe.
Alright. Would you like me to delay your turn and let Dread go?
Do you know what you want to do now?
What? Just go.
Go ahead and delay our turn. Let Dread go. I'm gonna talk
Okay.
to
Dread.
Fumble.
What would you like to do?
I'll move up to this twig blight and swing at it.
Alright. Smash. Twigs everywhere as it collapses.
Must. Oh, actually, I wouldn't just take the 10. The fire shouldn't be there. I need to adjust that.
Yeah, even that, so it's completely crushed. Anything else you can do this turn?
Let's see. How far did I move? Let's see. It's probably all I can do.
Okay. Fumble, you ready? I'm guessing not. Going to delay turn past Topaz. Topaz, what would you like to do?
All right. Up to that one.
The one that fired on you and completely missed. Smash! needles go spraying everywhere, but it still seems to have enough of body mass to stay upright.
Oh, you're one of those. All right. Um, key point flurry of blows. First flurry is going to go on this one.
And that's enough to destroy it. The needles just kind of explode in a shower of pine everywhere.
Continue my momentum. Second attack.
And that smashes into it.
Second flurry.
And now that one's blown up. Both needle blights are
That'll-
dead.
That'll do me.
Alright. Fumble?
Right.
You guys ready?
She's stepping back for a moment, so I'll be taking the
Cogsworth? Okay.
and the twig blight in front of Dread is down.
Yep, I put an X on it because that's the one with the initiative counter.
All right. Go ahead.
That way I'm not
then.
rolling a ton for all the individual twig bites when they're so squishy.
Yeah.
It's like I let them go, those ones go as a group. The rest of them, yeah. So.
Then I'll be moving forward and an attack with Warhammer. Darn.
And that's the first miss we've seen in this group so far.
Mhm.
Do you have a second attack?
No, because I am life domain.
Alright. Noxie, you're up.
I'm gonna move all the, and I'm going to attack with a dagger,
Okay.
and I get advantage because he's fairy fire, right?
Yep.
Which also means sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay.
Though that's not going to be necessary. These things have 4 HP.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to throw my offhand.
Sweet. At the other one?
Yep.
Alright. That hits and explodes in a bunch of twigs.
I'll do my turn.
Alright. The 2 twig blights go running at Lobu. They now have advantage thanks to flanking. And both of them go for their claw attacks. 15 and 14.
Both missed.
Nice. It's like you got 2 little really evil versions of Baby Groot coming at you.
And they both will take 1d6 piercing and 1d6
Roll,
poison.
roll. Okay. So they both take, one takes 3 and one takes 1?
They both take 1d6. One's d6 is 6 of
Yeah.
poison. One's of...
That's what I was
Roll.
checking on, because if it was a 4... Okay, then that second one's dead.
Oh, the one I threw is probably still alive, actually, because I don't think I get sneak attack twice, so...
Oh, you're right, piercing. Duh. Well, actually, you wouldn't have gotten sneak attack... well, yeah, you wouldn't have gotten sneak attack twice. Darn it!
Sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay. Let me just really quick roll for that one. No, so that one then advances on you and goes in for the attack. Noxie. Oh, that's a needle blight. Ignore that. Is that it?
Yeah.
So just kind of like after taking your offhand dagger, it stumbles towards you and rakes a claw down your flank. And now it's the Vine Blight's turn. Vine Blight is going to go after Cogsworth. And use Constrict. Does that hit Cogsworth?
That does not hit.
Alright. Dovin!
I'll go ahead and do frostbite.
Do you want to keep the fairy fire going or not?
Is that one that Noxie's fighting affected by it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, then I'll go ahead and keep going.
Okay.
So that one goes down. So go ahead and hit Divine Blight in front of Cogsworth.
All right. All right. So let's see. Constitution saving throw on that one. And that one saves.
Darn.
Doesn't seem to be much effect. Well, it probably would be affected by cold normally, but for some reason, it doesn't seem your attack did not land on it. Lubu.
Just gonna swing away. $21 to hit that.
That one's dead.
I'll just make my way towards him, and that'll be it. Wait, sorry. I'll vicious mockery this twig blight. I think I've got range there.
All right. Let me double check something on there. Yes, it can understand you. Good. Doesn't even need to understand. It just has the capacity to understand. Vicious mockery. Let's see.
You're a big stupid jerk.
It doesn't seem to care. Probably because it knows it's not very bright. Thalia looks around. Let's see here. How far away am I from that? Okay, so he's just going to use arrows again. Thalia launches another arrow, this time at the Vine Blight. It's 8. And he grins. See, I'm effective. Volan!
I'll make my way downtown, walking fast.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
And that actually misses. Oh, yeah, that actually misses.
Shit. Volan.
What happened?
But that second one, you just like after missing, you can come through and slash off a bunch of the little tendrils. Although it is still staying together. It's writhing now in front of you.
Yep, that's my turn.
Moving up to Dread. What would you like to do, Dread?
Yeah, I guess step in here and see if I can kill here on Noxie.
Alright, you enter the field of fairy fire. And yet another dead twig blight exploding in front of you. Anything else you can do this turn?
See, I only moved. There.
Alright. Topaz,
All right.
how far can your monk legs take you today?
And that is. Kill steal. I'm gonna throw some darts
Alright.
at disadvantage.
Unfortunately, with that disadvantage, they do not hit. It's kind of fall
Damn.
but short, like right between Cogsworth and Volan.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay.
Another one nearly lands on Fred as you practically drop it in front of him. Or Squish, or whatever the name of the pet is at the moment.
I changed the name in the sheet, but it didn't show up on the token.
Yeah, I think that happens sometimes. Anything else you can do, Topaz?
Nope.
Cogsworth.
Alright, Bolin. Sorry to get in the way, but finally time that I contributed a little bit. And smash.
And that'll do it. You bring your warhammer around and just smack it a good one, and the blight is no more. Now that that's been taken care of, the area is clean of noticeable enemies.
I'm going to retrieve my dagger.
All right. I feel a little bit better about maybe leaving Dovin.
Much appreciated.
Oh, do you just sit there to do the spell? Are you gonna just sit there?
Basically, I mean, I need to do some communing with the chanting. I need to feel the roots and stuff. But
What are you trying to do, minor illusion of, Lebu?
I was going to just put an illusion of a barrel over him, but it's only gonna last
A
for
minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
appreciate the thought.
Dovin, did Kelly pass, or is she still available?
She got sent to the Feywilds. I can bring her back if you don't mind waiting 10 minutes.
I just feel like it might be safer if we can, at least communicate with you somehow.
Thalia looks at the rest of you and says, I don't mind staying with their druid friend here. I can keep an eye on him.
If you would stick together, that would be appreciated. I know, Dovin, you're your own person, but I would prefer if you were with someone.
Thank you. Appreciate you looking out for me. I'll be right. If anything happens, I can turn into a deer and grab Thalia and get out.
Not sure a deer could hold my weight, the Goliath laughs.
What about a giant goat?
Maybe.
I would pay good money to see that, just saying.
Goat, kidding me. Or are we heading back to the boat?
Yeah, what are the rest of you guys doing?
We're going to find some mushroom boys.
Finding that dragon horde, ladies.
Yeah.
As we are walking, I'll go ahead and wrap the side of my head a little bit, causing my eyes to flicker. Hey, Fumble, you alright?
I'm fine.
Sure. I had to take control there.
I'm aware.
Why'd you hesitate?
I figure you know your body better than I do, so you should be the one to control it.
Yeah, the moment we're sharing, I do want to share the.
So as Cogsworth and Fumble chat together, how do you guys wish to go about trying to find this dragon horde? What is your approach?
Yes, the mushroom people.
Yeah, I think we were
Okay.
going to try to find them.
So I'm gonna go with Volan's earlier perception. She first saw the danger that you guys were about to walk into, that you managed to avoid on your way in here earlier. But as you leave Dovin and Thalia behind, and you go out into the woods a bit with your companion Squish, you do quickly, almost within eyeshot of Dovin still, find some of the veggie pygmies. They kind of look up at you and are once again pointing their spears towards you, and they notice that you've got a thorny with you, and they kind of lower them, looking a bit confused. It kind of seems like these might not be the same tribe that you ran into before.
I'll go up and start translating for the rest of the group. What would you like to tell them, Captain?
I mean, tell them we defeated. They were talking about invaders or something. We defeated their invaders and we're trying to restore their land, and we would appreciate it if they could direct us towards wherever the dragon kept their treasure.
All right.
recall they wanted meat.
We do have dragon meat.
And also all those other ghouls and things we killed in
Do
the
you-
tower. We could just go to them, get at that tower.
Do you relay this via awakened mind to them, Lebu?
Yeah.
That you hear the weird creaking sounds that the Vegapygmies make, that the kind of speaking that, and weird squeaks and whistles that come along with it, as they talk, and then you hear in your head Lebu says, "This is excellent news. Lots more meat, dragon meat, and yes, we know where the dragon was flying to and from." And they point off in a northeasterly direction.
Thanks, guys. Does anyone one of you want to show us the way?
They begin to have a conversation. They kind of walk over towards the thorny, and seem to be relaying this information to the thorny, and Squish slash Fred, whichever name you guys think, and that one just rubs up against your side Lebu, and licks your shoulder.
Ah, sweet.
Congratulations, you are now sticky.
It's worth it. I'll get as sticky as I need to get to go to a dragon's horde.
And the awakened mind, it's relayed to you that that the thorny that you have in your party can lead you there now.
Thanks, guys. You're the
Oh,
best.
you guys should come. You guys should take the bag of holding.
Good.
Currently, the GM will relate that your bag of holding is actually practically filled to capacity with dragon parts.
Oh. Well, you take it anyways, and then if decisions need to be made, you have the option to make them.
Worst case, we grab a spare barrel from the ship. I'm sure between Vol and Dread and I, we can carry it all.
We got it. We got it.
Thalia also calls over, "Hey, if we know where this dragon horde is, and Dovin has to be here 8 hours anyway, you guys could always trek all the way back to the ship using the same path we all came here on, and drop off all of the stuff that you don't need."
Thalia, this is you're killing it today. I don't know what to say, man. You killed that guy earlier. You think about basic like reasonable. You're my dude.
Yeah, you're my dude, little guy. He gives you a thumbs up.
I don't know, Captain. I think he's grown on me.
Fantastic.
We should keep him. We should also keep that Andrew guy. We should see if he's alive.
We should probably, check on him if, maybe he got free. We'll see.
It has been hours.
I'm sure he's fine.
So, the question again, do you do as Thalia suggested and head back to the ship? Or would you like to go immediately towards the direction that the Thorny can lead you in?
Plus side, if we head to the ship, we can check on our unconscious fellow along the way.
Yeah, I say we go back to the ship, drop off probably a lot of these dragon parts, and other things we don't necessarily need on us, and then head back out. We could also check in on our crew. We kind of just leave them and not tell them anything, so.
Yeah, I don't like them being alone for more than a day.
We don't pay them enough to be alone for a day, so it's kind of
We should definitely figure out a way to make sure they can't leave when we're gone.
We should work on that. We'll work on it.
So yeah,
Alright.
I think we make hay.
Okay. So, as you make your way back through the dead forest, you do find the spot where you killed those other guys. The two bodies that are there are currently, sprouting. It looks like they might become more Vigipygmies at some point. However, the manacles that you did manacle Andrew, right? You tied him up. Wasn't it manacles?
I think I volunteered my manacles.
Yeah. So you find your manacles all by themselves sitting on the edge of the path. Andrew is long gone.
That little scamp.
You finally make your way unimpeded back to the ship, but as you get out of the living tree line, you notice that Squish sits down in the shade and refuses to go out into the daylight.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, most funguses don't like the sun. They prefer darker, wet places.
We can just leave him here for a little bit, or if you guys want to stay here while we head to the ship. Shouldn't take too long.
I'll stay with Squish. I'm sure Fumble would hate if I lost him.
Okay, so Cogsworth and Squish are over there. The rest of you are all heading to the ship?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head up you head out on the dinghy, you head into the ship, and your crew, who's kind of been anxiously looking up at the sky, starts cheering and then looks around noticing there's less of you and says, Captain, did we lose some people?
Oh, no. We're just making
Oh.
a quick stop here before heading
Oh,
back
good.
out. We're all good. No worries.
Oh, good.
Everything's-
How long are we expected to stay? I mean, the food stores are fine and everything like that. We've got enough food for days, weeks even. But, with that octopus out there, we're not sure how long we want to stay around.
I don't imagine us staying here too much longer. But I don't think we have to worry about the octopus. Our sea elf friends have been very helpful in that
Okay.
regard.
All right.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. No worries.
No worries, be happy.
It's fine. We're fine.
This is really convincing.
Volan, Topaz, if we take the ship's wheel, can they leave? He whispers at her.
You mean actually take it?
Yeah, what if we just grab it off of there? They can't steer the ship, right?
Well, no, but yeah, talk about pissing them off and inciting a mutiny.
Fair enough.
So, what would you like to do about what you have currently in your bag of holding? Because you've got all sorts of stuff in there.
Dumping out dragon parts, I thought, or giving some to the octopus and
All right.
storing the rest.
Where would you like to store the dragon parts? Just in a quarters and in the cargo holds, bilge. And are you dumping out everything in your bag of holding, or specifically just the dragon parts?
Well, one quick question: does the bilge, is it a lot colder than the rest of the ship?
I think it might be, considering it's the part that sometimes gets filled with water.
I think we should stash the parts down on the lowest level, and then we might as well put some other stuff in a barrel somewhere.
All right, so you go ahead and take some of that supplies and put all the dragon parts in the hold. And you still have more stuff in the bag of holding. There are some empty barrels, like you can put money and other items in there. So what would you guys like to do?
We should probably head back to Cosworth and Bumble, and Squish.
Alright, so you're just moving the dragon parts. Gotcha.
Yeah. Do we have anything else in there particularly, I don't know, weighty?
Money can be weighty, and there's probably some other random items in there.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I don't want to take the money out of there. I don't trust the crew. They've done nothing to wrong me, but I don't trust them. I think we're fine.
Yeah, the dragon parts are the only large thing. Everything else is like little, like there's like bracelets and a couple potions, some gems, and then the money.
we
Oops, sorry, my cat was sitting on my keyboard and she restarted my roll 20.
have we distributed like some of the treasure that we got from that spider boat?
I think that's what's currently in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
So did anybody get the cloak of protection?
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now. But if anyone wants to grab that, they can.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we actually gave that to someone. I don't think there's anything else to give out.
The staff made of gnarled wood, is that just in there? Is that something we have, or?
Yeah,
Yes.
Dovin picked it up and put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Who
dragon had it. So it's either a focus, which Dovin currently thinks it is, or it's some other magic item. We'll find out later.
One of us should definitely have something with a green skull on it.
Oh, good call.
Oh,
We
didn't
have one of
Noxie
those.
have that necklace?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Nox got chains last session, remember?
All right. Gorgeous. I think we're probably good, right? We're not gonna find that much stuff.
I think we're gonna find a ton of stuff.
I don't think we'll find like 500 pounds worth. We're fine.
Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
All good.
And on that note, I think we need a quick bathroom break, guys. 5 minutes.
Right.
And I'm back.
Hey,
How are people doing?
I think it's only me, and I'm gonna take a phone call real quick. Actually, as long as we're on break.
Okay.
Are we on a short break?
Yeah, it was just a 5 minute break, so I'm waiting for people to come back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I am also back.
Yay.
I
Ew.
never.
Still neat how quickly you managed to kill a dragon.
Well, there are seven of us.
And that's true. And you have an NPC with you. There's a dragon and a vampire and
Yeah, that's the crazy part for me. That we defeated a dragon alongside a vampire. That was
yeah. To be fair though, it was just a young dragon. It wasn't like a an adult or ancient dragon. It didn't have any layer actions.
Chris said next time I'm sending a whole fucking ancient dragon your way.
Well, also this time, Dread got a huge.
Yeah, Dread was
Here.
MVP of that.
Oh, absolutely. That was
Also, the
fucking
crit, he did like 80 damage or
Like,
something.
that was part of the point. It's like, lucky rolls sometimes lead to really dramatic incidents. I was more thinking of the Sunday game I ran. The party was also faced off with a vampire who was summoning an army of the undead, and there was this big dragon nearby that was breaking down the wall of the city nearby on the other side of the graveyard. And that's the I was making a joke because that happens to be the vampire's quote unquote mount, or rather dragon companion.
Yeah, and sorry, I don't know if I said, but Fumble and I are ready whenever everyone gets back.
Okay, so I think let's see, Topaz and maybe Lobu. I'm waiting for now. So I know Lobu went off to make a call. Welcome back, Topaz. So it looks like just Lobu now, maybe. Hopefully not too much longer. So you guys are headed off to look for the dragon's hoard that the Vegapygmies sent you directions for. Where are my glasses go?
Yes.
Oh,
What
there
could
it
go
is.
wrong?
Just about everything could go wrong. You never know.
No, but we told the crew we're fine, so we gotta be okay.
Welcome back, Libu.
Hey.
Alright, so resuming the adventure, you guys decided that you would keep everything else in the bag of holding for now and head back out. Is that correct?
Yeah, go find that treasure.
Alright, so you guys left behind the just the dragon parts in the bilge to keep them cool. And set off with your bag of holding. Reconnected with Cogsworth and Squish, and are starting to follow Squish off into the great unknown of the forest.
Into the unknown.
So who would like to keep an eye on things, just in case Squish wanders into stuff that Squish wouldn't be afraid of, but that you guys might find challenging?
If no one else is doing it, I'll watch out. Keep the watch out.
Okay. So I would like you to roll me a perception check then.
Oh dear.
Blind leading the blind.
Yeah, poor.
Squish, I mean.
Yeah. Thankfully, other than stumbling through some old spider webs where the spiders seem to have been long gone, large spiders clearly, you don't run into much as you pass by the tower. Just as you passed by the tower and head deeper into the forest, away from anything that looks like a marked path. You're not sure where the Vegapygmy is exactly leading you, but it doesn't seem like it's the sort of place that any of the druids kept to, except for the dragon. Would Lobu can like to continue leading this, or does somebody else want to step up to the plate?
Well, we don't know he's doing poorly.
Well, it's true, but you would look around and notice that. Sorry.
I'm sure we would have noticed him walk face first into a massive spider web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have noticed that part.
Anyone
Hey,
want to help me
Noxie.
or anything?
Hey, Noxie, how about you lead? You're a little smaller. You might be able to follow Squish a bit better. Just
Noxie
shout if you see anything.
Noxie's just gonna squint at you.
Hey, Cogsworth, do that magic thing you do to make people better at stuff.
So, Fumble, do you do that thing where you can make people very good at things? Yeah. I saw you.
You have an inspiring presence.
Yeah. Would you be able to do that? Because as much as I trust our new pet friend, I'd appreciate some kind of backup.
Give it to Noxie.
Play a little song, do a little dance.
I'm gonna pull out my bongos
Yay, bongos!
and hit one, and then Yep.
Noxie! What's the information you currently have on your list? Is it
Level
Inspiration?
7 as you go.
6 or 8?
Level 7 bard.
Levels.
You're level 7 bard.
Yeah, level
so
7
what?
will be level.
So what?
Uh,
what size of them?
What dice?
These for my sneak attack. What are we asking?
No, for
the
my bardic
inspiration.
inspiration.
Oh, for
What?
inspiration.
Yeah, at that level, what
It's a D8.
D8. So Noxie, you get to add a D8 to whatever check you wish to make.
Okay. I was confused because I don't have it on my character sheet. What dice?
And
That's why I was
Oh.
asking Fumble, because Fumble would know. It's on
Well,
her sheet.
before
Good thing I chose.
before Noxie gets to tracking, though, I will go ahead and anoint Noxie with whatever weird
Guidance?
squish juice is still on my hand,
Ah.
and say, "May Helm guide your sight." And your forehead is now sticky.
No, she just starts like trying to wipe it off. She like makes this disgusted face.
Yeah,
Does this wash off?
that happens to us all the time.
Just wash off.
Wait, who said that? Who said it happens to us all the time?
Topaz.
Very
Topaz.
private
Guess
person.
who, Noxie? Just guess.
Take a wild, just out of us.
I just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure that that happened.
Yep.
Place
Good.
She
bet.
gets sticky all the time. She only has her elf to blame.
Anyway, so,
Whereas every time you open your mouth, I take psychic damage.
Noxie, what sort of check would you like to make?
To keep an eye on Squish.
To, if that's the case, that'd probably be animal handling then.
To keep an eye on him.
Well, I asked you what type of challenge did you want to make. You said you wish to keep an eye on Squish, and that would require like understanding. Well, in this case, well, technically not well, it's animal in terms of its ambulatory, but that sort
Okay.
of thing would require animal handling because it's like reading body language in another a creature that isn't necessarily a sentient being.
Okay.
So,
Wait. So wait, it would be animal handling just to
in this case,
be aware of its location.
if that's the way that Noxie wishes to help out by watching Squish and double checking on things like that, animal handling is the most appropriate check that I can think of for it. So
All right.
please roll me an
And
animal handling check.
it is not advantage, so
But you do have that D8 inspiration.
And a D4
Nice.
guide.
all right. I will roll both of those.
So D8 and D4 plus the 6.
Whew.
So that's 16. That's good. Yeah. The Swish is definitely leading you in a purposeful location. And as you watch Squish and watch the way it's moving, ducking out of the way of things, you kind of find yourself glancing up a time or two. Sorry, not glancing up, looking at the ground, and noticing like some broken branches that looked like they came from higher up in a tree, like maybe knocked over when when something flying in different a larger size was moving through the forest. So this definitely looks like it's the right direction. One more skill.
Lead the party.
One more skill challenge. Anyone else keeping an eye on anything?
Oh, yeah, keeping an eye on Noxie and surroundings.
Alright. And for that, let's do a general perception check.
And you want me to roll another animal handling?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, skill challenges is like each person does a different skill to try to help out the party. I like it that way. It's better than everybody rolling perception and everything. It's much more convenient way of getting through a forest. Holy crap, that's a good roll. So eventually, you find a gnarled section of tree where it's like where everything looks like it's been it grew together at some point, and there's like dead wood stacked, and an entrance that could definitely fit a dragon if it squeezed in there. Poke your head in. Is anyone holding a light at this point, by the way? Because I know some of you can't see in the dark.
Actually, quick question.
Yeah?
Because of what fumble is, can she see in the dark, but I can't?
Technically, no, it's from your body.
Okay.
And
So, yeah,
the body is
can't see
Cogsworth,
the dark.
so...
Yep. Can't see in the dark.
So that means that means you would have needed some kind of like small light to help you out on this entire thing. So.
Hey guys, I'm kind of going in blind here. Is it okay if I light it up?
I feel like we took care of the dragon, right? There shouldn't be any trouble here.
Just want to be sure. All right,
Yep.
and I will cast light on my shield.
All right, bright light, and as you have your light source there, you start seeing like there's definitely a small horde inside. Can somebody roll me a 1d100?
Can I roll it?
Sure.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Fumble. You can roll the 1d100. That's 1,000. Nice.
Ooh,
I hope.
me too.
Wait a minute.
So you see various art types of art objects. Where is it? And you see. Let's see. Can somebody roll me a 6d10?
I'm on it.
I think this is the first time I've gotten loot off of any of the DM guide tables. makes me happy.
Holy crap.
And also sad that I've played this long and never gotten anything off the DM table.
Well, I wanted to play around the DN tables and was actually looking at what the stats for a horde for this level actually was, instead of just saying, okay, you can find random things like this, which is why another party ended up with some rather overpowered items. But
like a ring of wish.
Except that it actually fit the theme because they looted it from an ancient dead group of blue dragons that were ancient and had hoarded a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
entire
of
thing
course
had
they would
collapsed,
import it
and
to
so they had
Wish.
several really nasty, really powerful things. But they had some really nasty defenses in there that they managed to circumnavigate. So
Nice.
okay.
Also,
So you find various art things. Okay, second one's right. Okay. You find a large, well-made tapestry, a golden ring with red stones set into it, a gold bird cage with some kind of electrum filigree, a bronze crown. In fact, you find a second ring with red stones, and a box of turquoise animal figurines. And nestled into that box, sitting on top of it, is a very pretty stone of some kind that seems to radiate some kind of power. So I can find the exact description for it for you. Okay, I think in this place I'll just use the DM's guide to look up. But there is a nice pretty stone set in there. It is, how big is this stone?
Just to make sure I got everything down, there's two rings with red stones in them. There was a tapestry, glowing stone, and there was a cage.
A cage
Did I
with
miss
electrum
anything?
filigree, and the interesting looking stone is sitting on top of the box with the animal figurines.
Animal figurines, got it. Thanks.
Fumble is going to.
Alright.
I'm interested in the two matching rings. At least
Alright.
if I understood the description properly.
Yeah.
Can't Dovin identify things of a magical nature?
Okay, so the
Yeah, but
first off, the stone color that you're looking at the stone. It's interesting. It's spherical, and it's pink and green in color.
Would I know anything about it magically?
Roll an Arcana check. Yes, and there's a bronze crown.
Does it seem like a quite an old artifact?
Lubu, you're looking at this, and it's interesting. You don't know exactly where you heard this story before, but you must have overheard somebody talking about it at some point, talking about these things called ion stones.
Oh yeah.
And you're looking at it and going, you heard somebody saying, I wish I had an ion stone of leadership. There's these little pink and green spheres. They orbit your head, and they make you more. Make you a much better leader. People are more willing to pay attention to you when you get one of those.
Oh
So
my
you
gosh.
recognize this to be an ion stone of leadership.
Oh my gosh. I want this. Guys, we should talk about this later. But this is on my wish list. It's great.
It's a very pretty rock logo.
Well, let me just show you. Well, I suppose it wouldn't rotate it around my head if I wasn't attuned to it, huh?
Correct. It does require attunement.
You just wait. You just wait for a short rest, Bolin, and you'll see. It's a great rock.
Oh, okay.
So one of the is that the glowing stone? Is iron stone?
Yes, the very pretty stone that feels like it's got an aura around it.
I
Fumble.
got two
Huh.
rings.
Go ahead. Describe the rings first.
Oh yeah.
Fumble's wanting to check the box after.
They're go ahead.
I just wanted to know, like, I'm gonna also try to make an Arcana check to figure out what those are.
Okay, go for it. They're very pretty, and they have really cool red stones set into them. Maybe there's some kind of interesting magic about them. You'll have to get them identified or something.
Hmm.
So Fumble, you're interested in the box?
You know, what kind of animals are in the?
Let's see. It's a box of random turquoise animal figurines. Uh, okay. Ironically, and this might be seem a little sad, but I'm sure there's an elephant figurine in there.
I'm taking the elephant.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Done.
And a giraffe, and a little lion, and for some reason a pterodactyl.
I'm gonna take the elephant figurine and put it in our chest.
Alright. Yeah, I figured you'd say as much. No monkeys, sadly.
If
Damn
I can,
it.
could I attempt to see if I recognize anything with this?
With what?
With these figurines?
Okay.
They seem
Roll,
very familiar to Cogsworth.
roll
Just-
history check.
Okay.
Well, you can't think of anything specific. You know, you kind of look at it and think, you know, there's a land to the southwest of here. Essentially a peninsula, but there's a channel that's been cut through it, or strait. Actually, there's a strait that disconnects the two parts of the land. This area called Chult, which has creatures like this,
Interesting.
kind of near the,
Anyone here
the
been to
tropical
Chult?
zone.
Has anyone here been to Chult?
Gesundheit.
No,
Thank you.
but that's
Some of these creatures are native to there.
Has Fumble been to Chult?
I don't know. Has Fumble been
I
to
don't
Chult?
know.
History check.
Oh,
Go ahead.
It, and yes, that was where the fruit that almost killed you came from.
Fumble rolled a 20 on his.
Yeah, there's a vague memory of some kind of. You don't have a direct memory of Chult, but there's a vague memory of some kind of kingdom down south. Fumble that flits through your mind, and you just kind of remember music and you know, some sort of, you know, very wealthy, mostly humans and some lizard folk and some enslaved
people?
minotaurs. From her memories, then she's
One.
not seeing any cat people that in their memory, unfortunately. But
one
she
that's
is.
obsessed with taxes.
No, no. But you just remember, like, you know, a nice court, like, you know, a nice place, you know, nice on the outside, but, you know, just basically greedy people is your impression. And it's just a vague memory. You don't know exactly what the context is.
Apparently, the carvings are of native there.
I don't know if it's.
I also think that Lobu might have also remembered something. Didn't Lobu say something as well?
oh yeah, that one guy's from Chult, Reno, of the Black Knights, where he's there or something. That Andrew guy blabbed about it.
All I know is small sculptures like these. Occasionally, they do have
Wait.
magic.
Wait, Reno's from Chult, and he runs the Black Knights. Are we actually saying they literally mean the Black Knights?
That was what they're called, right?
Intelligence check.
I just thought it was just, you know, some kind of a symbolic thing.
I recall them being called the Black Knight, but
But if they're from Chult, probably all black. Actually black. Aren't most humans from down there black?
Not a very imaginative name, then.
No, it really
guess-
isn't.
No.
Vincent was one of them, I think, and he was a dark elf. So
Mm.
Oh, the
Maybe
mystery
turns out.
deepens.
That's like if Volan and I called ourselves Green Knights.
Nazi. We are the Green Knights.
I love it. I'm for this.
She makes it look like that was unexpected, but then like she looks like she has stars in her eyes.
Good.
Unfortunately, I think I would have to replace my entire body with copper to join your ranks then.
Just paint you.
Fumble, are you green? Were you green?
I don't know. Was I green?
Oh.
Was I green?
With your history check, you seem to recall looking at your hand in that memory for a split second, and it looked green to you.
Oh my god.
I think so.
Neat. Was it with envy?
No.
Or the Green Gals, the Green Knights. The elite group.
But if there's no boys allowed, then I'm not allowed because I have to come with nuts and bolts.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You can't join our coven.
Oh god!
Hey, I am trying, okay? Unfortunately, it may be difficult to separate us when I'm this sticky. Which is all your fault.
It's not my
you-
fault.
Phrasing.
You
phrasing,
had to
phrasing.
pet the squish.
Just keeps getting worse.
I love him.
You love
I love him.
You just met him.
So,
You know what?
so
The
we got.
heart wants what the heart wants.
So we have 2 blue people. We have 2 green people. What color is Dread exactly? I forget.
Yeah, you don't even want to know what all else she did to get sticky. I'm just not even going to tell you.
She's red.
So you got blue, green, and red, and you have Dovin and Cogsworth as the odd people out. Well, actually, technically, Dread would also be an odd person out, but
Yeah.
but you know,
Dovin's our token white guy, and Cogsworth is our I don't even know what he is. Our
token metal guy.
mascot.
Hey, Grizz.
Yeah.
If I think really, really hard on that memory, can I remember anything else?
Roll a second history check. Let's see.
You can do it, babe.
What were you doing with that green hand?
While she was at a hoity-toity party.
When
No, the only thing that vaguely comes to mind is that that even though they're making jokes about it, it's true. The humans from Chult were fairly dark skinned.
you know, Topaz, I think you are right. I mean, speaking of the humans from Chult, they are mostly dark skinned. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some lizard folk there too.
So they're not named after their humor.
No.
Oh.
And I remember a lot of music. But I also remember it was a very greedy place.
Greedy, you say?
Yes.
How so?
Rez?
Did they take a lot of taxes?
It's just like an impression in the back of your mind. It's like you try to reach for the substance of it, but it just kind of disappears like smoke. It's just an impression you have. Greed. It's hard to put a name to it otherwise.
It was just the first impression I got. They were just very, very greedy. At least from what I could.
I vaguely recall having experience with. Yes,
How big were you?
you did.
Me?
She probably wouldn't have been able to gauge size from her location away from everyone else. It seemed like she was looking out from a more central location, many other things, but didn't see anybody so close to her that she could tell her size.
Maybe you were a goblin.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, she doesn't speak Goblin.
No, I don't.
Believe me, all of her thoughts are in common. Though occasionally you do swear in Orcish, it's weird.
You don't think you were a half-orc, do you?
I don't know.
She's half crazy, that's for sure.
And
Is
maybe
there-
Cogsworth was your other half?
Is
Yeah.
there any kind of check I can make to
Better
answer
half,
Roland's
maybe.
question? Like,
Unfortunately, you've You've done your history checks for this already, and that's pretty much all the information you have at this current moment.
Right. This is just conjecture. We don't even know. Just making shit up.
But you've cleared out what was in this hoard of this dragon. Some nice artistic objects that looked like they were decently cared for, and an ion stone.
Let's get back to Dove and
Oh,
make sure
hold on a second. Forgot about the coins. There's coins on top of this. My bad.
Like the coins were on top of the priceless
Nope.
art?
As soon as you take away the art, you discover that there's also a bag of coins. So I need to roll for that. Give me 1 second.
Noxie, you're absolutely right.
Okay, so you find 700 700 copper coins, 6,000 silver coins, 2,000 gold coins, and 60 platinum pieces.
Huh?
Ladies, we're stacked again.
Huh?
Noxie walks up to the edge of the coins, just falls face first.
Yeah, it looks like the dragon had been sleeping on them that way too.
Plot twist: Noxie's a dragon.
Oh yeah. I just want to be part of the. I just want to be part of the group.
You're not one of us, though. You're not a green gal.
I'm green now. I could make myself look like a gal.
Green with envy,
Hey,
maybe.
Lobu. Lobu.
Hmm?
That little mirror thing. How
yeah.
often can you use it?
Once a day, basically. Next dawn. Do you wanna hold on to it for a while?
Yeah, I'd like to use it to see if it'll help. Maybe show me something.
Maybe we'll
That's
figure out how we got smashed together.
It's a good idea. And I'll hand over the mirror.
Put the mirror in. Thank you.
Very welcome. Hope it
And
works.
then I pat Squish on the head. Being sure to leave my hand there for maximum.
So, what'd you guys like to do now? Just head back to Doven, or are you gonna head back to the ship?
Wash myself off. Which I'll do that on the way back though. Like once we get in the dinghy, I'll try to scrub myself clean with seawater and like a handful of sand.
He has a Dutch.
So, backtracking the way you came. Let's see here. 1 second. You got really lucky on your way out here. Let's see if your luck holds on your way there, on your way back. Who would like to make the survival check to pick up the trail again?
I'll do it.
Alright. You managed to get back onto the proper the path and managed to avoid anything dangerous that might be out here. You do look off at one point and see in the distance a bit of floating light that was a bit different from Cogsworth's shield, something that might be an undead, like maybe a will-o'-the-wisp or something else. But it quickly vanishes from sight before you can get a good lead on it. And eventually, you make your way back to where Dovin is working on his spell. Slowly and carefully. Thalia kind of stands up from where he was sitting and waves to you guys. Hey! Find anything? You've been gone a while.
Noxie looks like she's in a daze. Like she's like gold drunk or something.
Gonna use Awakened Mind to be like, Captain, do we tell him about this? Do we tell him about all our hooch? All our loot?
That's what I'm struggling with.
All the hooch.
With all that gold, we're getting some.
Looking ahead to the future.
Yeah, the dragon was an art aficionado apparently, so, there's this tapestry and, you know, gold bird cage, you know, a few things like that. Very, very, you know, art collector kind of things.
Neat. Did it have any gold, any money?
Noxie just like moves up to Thyla and says, has a sign that says no.
Roll deception, please.
Just
no.
all
How,
caps.
how deceptively did you write the word no?
This is gonna be very bad. Never mind.
All right.
Thalia kind of like looks down at you. All right. Pats you on the top of the head, Noxie.
A flinch.
Well, I mean, Delia's whole hand could almost, you know, cover your skull. So.
Palm your skull like a volleyball.
Yeah, exactly. Goliath versus Goblin.
Even though Noxie could beat probably in an arm wrestling contest.
Yeah,
I don't
Noxie is
know.
deceptively strong.
She's the strongest character on our ship, actually.
Didn't you already use Fury of the Small this week?
Yeah. We haven't taken a rest for that.
Fury.
You've taken a short rest. You just haven't taken a long rest. It's daytime
think-
again.
I think Fury Small is also a short rest.
If
as
that's
well.
the case, then you have it back because you did get a short rest.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, Dovin, how are you holding up?
Dovin has like this purplish pinkish haze over his eyes, and he's just got his hands in the dirt.
And he's got some more hours to go on this. It's
I
only
don't know what he's doing.
It's only about midday now.
Ooh, I'm gonna thoroughly search the whole tower. Who's with me?
I am down too.
Noxie raises her hand excitedly.
Out of character, Lobo's already used the mirror since it was dawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's doing that book?
So, everybody who's going back to the tower to search it, roll me investigation checks.
Can I help Noxie? Oh, unnecessary.
I have expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll an investigation check?
So, you guys start, you head back into the tower. You start searching it slowly up to down, searching, the trash rooms, finding the little bathrooms, the ones that have been recently used by something that was clearly not an undead, like, some of the people that were here. Looking over those, those weird nest piles that were abandoned at some point. And that's the one thing that occurs to you after you gotta stare at it. It's like, you don't see any creatures that correspond to those nests. Yeah, those were here in this tower. So either they went through that portal, which seems unlikely because it looks like it had just been activated before Dread went and destroyed it again, or there are other druids on this island. Of course, the other possibility is that they were all Krell's people and, have since died, and whatever animals lived in those nets were eaten by the octopus. Yeah. You don't find anything else like, very particularly useful. Uh, let's see, was there any of this on this list that you guys missed? Well, that looks about it. You guys already found the notebook. Pretty much everything else is just bits of junk. The food has gone bad in the kitchen already since nobody was left to tend the fires, and the pot just kind of boiled out. Um, and there's various mushrooms that don't look very appetizing. Um,
Do they look alchemically an option?
roll a nature check. And Lobu, if you want to pick up random junk, you can pick up this a note that says random junk, and however much weight of which you wish to have. Cogsworth, they don't look like anything useful to you. Not food, not alchemically.
Oh.
Anything else you guys wish to do while Dovin's continuing his ritual?
You hear my dog, don't you?
And I bet you guys can hear my cat. She's purring in front of my microphone.
Yeah, my dog pawing at me, so I'm just playing with it and getting a little hyper.
Anyway.
Dutch. It's enough.
Anyway, guys, so Topaz and Volan actually went back to the ship.
Guess so.
Right. So, Noxie, Dread, Cogsworth, and Topaz, are you still at the tower? Or did you... Sorry, not Topaz. Noxie, Volan... Sorry, Noxie, Dread, Cogsworth, and Lubu. You guys are still back at the tower?
Did we see how Topaz evolved when they went back to the ship?
You basically, looked, after not finding them after a little bit in the tower, probably, went back outside and said, "Oh yeah, those two left a while ago."
No.
I'm sure they're fine. Oh no.
Oh no, not this.
But,
Roll initiative.
But, the rest of you guys, I said, you don't find anything else interesting, just bits and pieces of junk, which Lubu apparently is currently collecting.
Just stuffing stuff in my pocket.
Who has the bag of holding at the moment?
Probably Noxie. That's my guess. One of those.
Okay.
So you also got plenty of room to try to fit other stuff in there if you want.
Alright, I'm probably just following Lobu around, helping him stuff the stuff into the bag of holding in that case.
Just Dovin looks through it later, and it's just full of trash.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily know what's in there. Remember, you have to basically put your hand in and either think really hard for what you want, or call the name out of it.
Oh no.
Well, I can turn it inside out if it's getting too full. And then all this trash is just gonna 500 pounds of trash is gonna pour out of the bag.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. But
For crew members.
well, you could do that in the bilge as well if you want when you get back to the ship. Now, is there anything you guys would like to do? Would you like to head up to the part where you're getting back to the ship?
Back to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the 8 hours are up, you come, Topaz. Sorry. Dovin is done, and you see bits of green actually on the ground, and you see green vines snaking up the trees up towards where the spider webs are, apparently heading towards the light that's well above. It is currently the afternoon. The sun is shining. And when you guys finally make it to the edge of the tree line again, Squish sits down and waits in the shadows, watching you.
He wouldn't really take him.
Can I borrow your barrel?
Does Noxie return the bag of holding to Dovin?
Noxie is typing.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Hmm?
I was asking if you return the bag of holding to Dovin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Noxie. Dovin is like noticeably exhausted, but he's very, very happy. Big smile.
Yep, desecrating his corpse, stealing all his money, all of his possessions. Yeah.
Noxie, can I borrow your barrel?
She holds up a sign. You have to fill out a form first.
Okay, where's the form?
She like ruffles through her bag.
Sorry, left them in the other barrel.
Did you find
she
it?
she hands you a piece of paper that says, all contents in the barrel will become mine eventually. And then there's like a place for you to sign.
So you'll help me take care of Squish?
She rips the paper in half.
I'll wash the barrel out.
You mean I'll wash the barrel out?
Please? I'm in one bit of happiness. I'm stuck with this imbecile.
Don't talk about Noxie like that. Yes?
I will punch us.
She goes into the whatever the ship name is for this area, and she grabs
the hold.
the hold, and she grabs a barrel and brings it up.
All right.
Great. So I'm shoving Squish in the barrel, taking him to the ship, and putting him down at the bottom so he can be nice and in a dark place.
In the bilge or the hold?
Wherever the water is. Builders typically have a bit of water in them.
The bilge, yeah.
They're dark and moist.
Yeah. Squish is very happy down there. Let's see if I can fix that name now.
We'll have to make sure to get.
Oh, that's why. There we go. That's why that was doing that. There we go. Because it was on Thorny instead of Squish.
Do we have any more dragon meat?
Yeah, there's dragon meat down in the bilge at the moment, and Squish is already heading for it.
Is it okay if he eats all of that?
We should probably save some, at least, for that octopus.
Agreed.
I'm gonna run down. Squish, wait!
Yeah. Lobu, please help.
Squish, hold on!
I'm gonna be sticking again. I just cleaned off.
Dovin.
I'm gonna dive and catch him.
Yes.
Alright. Squish is making noises in your arms as you guys work together to, get some of the dragon meat so the octopus will be fed. But meanwhile, Dovin, you are back on the ship. You have your bag of holding. And there's definitely, looks like somebody's been shoving trash and other stuff into this, or maybe, filling it up, because your bag does feel like it's at capacity again.
Oh boy. Is Noxie around?
Noxie's in her room.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to Noxie and just sort of ask her what's in the bag of holding that we should take a look at, and then what's in the bag of holding that we don't need to look at.
She just pulls out a bunch of stuff. She pulls out the Ion Stone, although we're pretty sure we know what that is. The tapestry, the cage, the animal figurines, and the bronze crown. And the rings.
And the rings. Oh, and I'm gonna pull out the staff too. And then cast Detect Magic.
Alright, the Ion Stone definitely lights up. Let's see what this staff will tell you.
I'm just.
Yeah, give me a minute. I just need to look something up.
Because Cosworth did have.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Cogworth has a question for Dovin. The identification stuff. Shut up. Because something is broken.
What's up?
Cogworth had a question. Some of the magical items, wherever you are, ship. So basically once Grizz is done answering yours and Noxie's questions, Cogworth has a question about something.
Oh, okay.
All right. From the looks of this, like, you cast a detect magic spell, and it seems like it's something akin to a staff of the woodlands, though it's not exactly the same thing as the staff of the woodlands. It's like, but it just feels very similar. It has, similar charges. It does some of the same things, but not all of them. And there's also some kind of, you feel like there's some kind of link between this staff and some other staff somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to attune to that when I take a short or long rest. But in the meantime, I guess I'll look at the other stuff that Noxie pulled out.
None of that stuff is magical.
Okay.
It's all just mundane.
The rings, tapestry, and the cage aren't.
Right. They're all just some very pretty baubles, probably worth some good money.
Okay.
And he was identifying the figurines.
Again, those are just very pretty baubles. Nothing magical about them.
Okay, just making sure.
And what else is in this bag, Noxie? It seems very heavy.
Has he examined the rings yet?
Yeah, the rings aren't magical.
Oh. Just a matching set?
Yeah.
We should save those for the lovebirds captain's cabin.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I have the power vested in me to marry.
Noxie looks outside. Looks for Thalai, sees that he isn't there, and goes back and writes a lot of money.
Oh, okay. I
Another
guess
sign, like a lot.
well, that's fun. I'll have to figure out how much there is. Am I gonna need to dump all this stuff out? I think I'm gonna need to dump all this stuff out. Okay, how much is 500 pounds worth of stuff? If I unloaded all of that in my room, would I get buried alive?
Depends on how dense the objects are. There's a good chance of it. Do you think that either the main hold or the bilge would be the best? The bilge would get it wet, but there would at least be room, or in the crew quarters, which aren't currently occupied because the crew is all out and doing stuff.
Noxie holds up a sign. You can be in my quarters if you want.
Would it be okay taking it all out in your quarters?
Thumbs up.
Okay. I'm gonna take everything that I know about and we want to keep. I'm gonna like put it in the corner so we don't have to dig it out. And then I'm just gonna
maybe safely in Noxie's barrel.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna turn the bag inside out.
All right. So a bunch of different types of junk just comes spilling out onto the floor. And Dovin, roll a wisdom saving throw, and Noxie, roll a wisdom saving throw.
What kind of saving throw?
Shit!
Wisdom
Oh,
saving throw.
oh no! Damn
Wisdom?
it. I forgot about the damn doll.
Yeah, as the doll is now on top of this pile of trash.
Oh no.
So I need a wisdom saving throw from you, please, Dovin.
I don't
Okay,
know why you
so,
listened
so
to me
you're
when I said
fine, but I need to see Noxie real quick in whispers. Alright, so as you lock eyes on the doll, you hear a voice in your head. Oh, God, I'm out of the dark place again. Oh, why was I in there? Oh, hello. Hi.
Noxie would obviously have a voice here, right? Because it's like
Yes, it's
telepathy.
like kind of like awakened mind.
This is weird. Only Lobu does this. What is this?
Yeah, where is Lobu? I thought Lobu wanted to be my friend. And you hear kind of a crying voice.
He does. You're the doll, right?
And you hear this voice that's like trying to say something, but for some reason can't. And you almost see like signs being held up, like what you do, except that, like, you know, it's like kind of like the old Looney Tunes signs and cursing, where it's like just a bunch of little text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's basically like the doll is trying to tell you something, but whatever it is, it can't say.
Oh, okay.
Please don't put me back in the dark. I don't like it in there. I've been to terrible places, though floating around like that is not fun.
All right.
Not as being underwater, but at least occasionally see fish underwater.
This is gonna be a weird question. Are you like cursed?
And once again, you get the string of text, and can't actually say anything.
You're okay. Oh, this is weird. Did you talk to Volan, right? What was that about?
Which one's Volan?
Half orc.
Oh, yeah. Tried talking. Yes. Tried talking. But then I wound up in the dark. She must not have liked me. Must not have liked me. No. Ended up in the dark again. You won't put me back in the dark, will you? Please.
Okay. I'll try.
All right.
Everyone else kind of thinks you're cursed.
Miss.
So you basically just see Noxie standing there staring at the doll for a minute.
As soon as I see the doll, I'm gonna like go, oh shit! I'm just gonna grab it and put it back in the bag of holding. As quickly as I
Noxie,
can.
you see Dovin doing this.
I'm gonna try to slide a hand out of his hands.
Noxie runs over and attempts to grab it up.
Somebody else has doll fever.
Devin, you're gonna have to roll a perception check.
Perception.
Yep. So you go to drop the doll, and it's just like it vanishes from midair.
Where
You know it didn't get back with the bolt of holding, and Noxie is now standing at your side, but the doll's gone.
Could I
Noxie,
have
we
seen
gotta
this
find the
by
doll.
any chance?
No. They're in a room by themselves. The door is locked.
Was the door closed?
Yes, the door is closed.
Yeah, I didn't hear the door was closed.
No, I didn't want Thalai to see us.
Yeah.
Dumping the sword.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely.
there's a lot of money every. Oh, that's right. The money's in the barrel now. Never mind. Yes, but there's all this junk all over the floor, and then the doll came out.
Noxie, we gotta find the doll. We can.
Hold it. Didn't you have to in the bag of holding?
No. Can I see if Noxie's like charmed by it?
Roll an insight check.
Oh shit. Okay.
Noxie's just being Noxie.
Noxie, we gotta find it. It's not in the bag of holding. I like put my hand in and try to grab the doll, and nothing comes out.
Nothing comes out. Yeah, the doll's
Would
clearly
we
not
hear-
in there.
Would we hear Dovin freaking out at this point?
Dovin, how loud are you being?
Probably not super loud. I'm like
Fumble, Cogsworth, you can
whisper
make
yelling?
you can roll perception check just to see if you hear anything.
whisper yelling because the fucking doll is out.
Ooh.
You hear Dovin whisper yelling. You're not entirely sure what it's about, though.
I'm gonna go knock on the door. Are you guys okay?
Yes.
Fun too.
Let them see the horde, Dovin.
Hang on.
It's all trash at
we'll
the
be
moment.
out in
I said the
just a
money
minute.
is in the barrel.
Ah, you're right.
Doven, I'm coming in.
Hang on a second. You gotta find the doll, Noxie. Seriously, it's dangerous. I don't
The
want
what?
anyone to
If
get
you
hurt.
don't open this door, I'm busting it down.
You lose the doll.
Fine, just close the door behind you.
Wait, can I come too?
This is great. We gotta find the doll. I made a mistake.
The doll.
Yeah.
Where did you last see it?
Well, it was right there, and then it disappeared. I don't know if it like moved, or if it went somewhere. I like blinked and it was gone.
Did it
Oh man.
to anybody?
Noxie.
See, where are you
Noxie?
going?
I'm gonna chase after her. Noxie.
Okay, at this point I don't believe that. Okay, Noxie, please come here.
Noxie.
Did it talk to anybody?
I want to awaken mind to Noxie and be like, "Yo, you got that thing?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, we can't let them have it."
I know.
Did it talk to anybody, Dovin?
Well, it pretty clearly talked to Noxie. I
I'm
think.
gonna pull
I
out my
can't tell.
bongo.
How clearly?
Well, Lobu and Noxie suddenly aren't talking.
do you
I'm
mean?
going to pull out my bongos and try to play a soothing song.
Go for it. Roll a performance check, unless you have an actual spell that does something like that.
No.
I'm not taking it away forever. I'm just.
Cling, cling, cling. Volan and Topaz, at this point you're hearing a terrible rendition of bongos outside your door.
I hear from down below.
Yes, and you'd probably hear the terrible bongos as well.
Noxie.
And Cloud is just like yelling at this point. The doll is gone.
Cloud?
Fumble.
Cloud? Oh, fumble. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Something with the doll.
So, what's going on?
The doll's gone.
I'm like looking back and forth between Noxie and Lobu.
Moxie
I'm
holds
going
the
to-
sign. Why does it matter? It's gone.
I'm going to use Divine Sense to see if there's anything in the area.
I'm gonna go knock on the captain's door. Captain, doll's gone.
Can you redisplay Divine Sense for me, please, Dread?
Just 1 second.
Kind of.
Why are you guys all talking to Noxie when we should be looking through this trash? It's clearly in this trash.
Well, Dovin believes it talked to Noxie, and every time it talks to
I
someone,
don't
they like
know
the doll.
if it talked to Noxie. I can't tell if it talked to Noxie, but
It talked
she
to
did
Volan.
just try to walk away.
It talked to Volan, and she didn't want anything to do with it.
But Volan
That's
wants to kill ghosts.
not true.
Dread?
Captain.
Dread.
Yeah.
Nothing registers inside the ship.
Inside the ship.
So nothing is either very evil or very good, according to your divine sense. You don't pick up on any celestials, fiends, or undead.
Yeah. So I say, what? If the doll is evil, it's not here.
Oh, we don't
Oh,
know if
Lord.
it's evil. But it causes
no.
people to act very strangely. Noxie, are you thinking clearly?
She nods.
I trust you.
Joven, help me look through this trash. We can't lose that doll. It's full of secrets.
Okay,
What's going
I'm
on?
coming. I'm gonna
I
help
still
Lobu
think
look through the
Noxie
trash.
means-
Roll investigation.
Explain.
Doll's gone.
Dovin dumped out the doll. He thinks it talked to Noxie. We're not sure, but Noxie tried to run away.
And now the doll's gone.
Lobo
Why
and
did she
Dovin are
just
looking
sign
in
It
the
out.
barrel.
Moxie shows a sign. Did not try to run away. Was just looking for the doll. Elsewhere.
You ran across the ship.
We don't
Wait,
know.
who lost the doll? How did you
I would like-
lose the doll?
I would like to insight Noxie's last sign of looking for the doll.
Sure.
Elsewhere.
Insight.
Guys, I'm sure it's all
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
Of course, it crits on the on the.
Yeah, Noxie seems trustworthy about this.
Level a gaze on Lobu. Don't you have a connection with it? Can't
Well,
you
I mean,
find it?
I've talked to it before. I guess I could try. I don't really. I mean, I'll close my eyes and like.
Are you
kind
still
of
awakened?
dramatically feel around.
Are you still awake in mind to Noxie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep that link up as much as possible.
All right. So while you actively search for the doll, you end up connecting your awakened mind to it in Noxie's possession. Lobu, there you are.
Oh, wow! I didn't think that was gonna work. How are you doing?
I better now that I'm not in that dark place anymore.
This is a three-way call. What?
Oh yes, this is perfect. Okay, the three of us need to really think this out. Figure out a good way to make sure that the doll doesn't go back in the bag.
Why do I keep getting put back into a bag? It's not fun.
They think you're cursed.
And once again, Lobu's not familiar with this, but Noxie, once again, you see that string of weird characters just trying to float in the air.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like you can't tell me certain things.
Do you think it has anything to do with your curse?
I don't know.
All right, we've got the Green Knights, we've got the Cursed Crew. We're forming different organizations very quickly.
Green Knights, that's fun. But there's already a green faction in play, the Jade Skulls.
Well, they've got some competition.
Huh. Yes,
Not for me.
red, green, black. Some of the primary colors, and they're playing on it again. Of course, they've also got blue to contend with, and whatever color you guys might be, maybe, if you guys are really getting into this. We'll see. But I can't see from inside that bag. It's all boring in there. I can't see anything.
Also, Noxie, I just want to let you in on this. I think we should definitely use the mirror on the doll at some point.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I agree.
Yes.
Sounds like a really good idea.
What mirror? What mirror do you have?
A mirror of history.
Ooh. Oh, I love history. I love time. Time's fun. Time's fun. Very fun. Yes.
All right. Oh yeah, we gotta somehow convince the others that we found the doll and also put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah. I mean, I could minor illusion it into the trash, but I don't think it's going to last very long, unfortunately. Oh boy. I could look like you, and then they'd get confused about which one of us has it, and then we could stash it somewhere, but I also don't think that will last very long. What if we just ask them if we can keep it?
All right. That sounds like a great idea.
Please don't put me back in the dark. The doll whimpers as you guys get back to the others. Thanks, Bumble. So for like a minute, Noxie and Lobu are both silent, seeming to stare at each other.
Lobu, we know what you're doing.
What?
Cogsworth and I are both going to cast detect magic. Yeah. I'm gonna start looking through the barrel and the trash, and I'm gonna look out for the deck. I'm just gonna look everywhere.
Are you gonna do pat
Didn't
downs?
you already have detect magic up, Devin?
Oh yeah, it lasts like 10 minutes or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you've
I have
noticed that
magic as well.
Yeah. So Devin, you have noticed it's not in the trash pile at all, and the only things in the barrel that are magical are it's like the ion stone and that staff.
Right.
Are we getting am I getting any glows off of Noxie?
Well, yeah, but Noxie has magical staff on her, doesn't she?
Yeah, but this ship is not.
Yeah.
The ship is
things are
not
glowing?
30. The ship is not 30 feet wide,
That is true.
and I don't think it's 30 feet deep. And if you have a 30-foot range on that spell, you could start at the prow, work your way to the stern.
So
Unless
Nox,
it's up in the mast, you should get a ping.
yeah. So Noxie, what sort of magical stuff? What areas would light up for Cogsworth?
The only real thing, I guess I was holding on to the Jade Skull
Yeah,
and
the Jade Skull does have some magical properties on it.
and my crossbow and
Yeah.
the doll in my pocket.
Yep. You can use your aura to see it, or your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn at School of Magic, if any. Spell can penetrate most barriers,
Yeah.
but is blocked
So
by
you
1
would
foot of
notice,
stone.
some kind of necromantic magic on the skull. Whatever type of magic makes weapons harder, but an unusual magic that seems to flutter. Let's see. Oh no, transmutation magic on something that's in Noxie's pocket.
There's something in Noxie's pocket.
Guys,
Transmutation.
we did talk this over a bit, and we want to just ask if we can just keep it out of the bag.
No.
You know,
That's a unanimous no, right? Like we all agree that that's bad.
I'm also concerned that you're lying to us and hiding it.
I Maxie holds up a sign. It's not dangerous.
Noxie.
Yet.
But you lied to me about it.
If it wasn't dangerous, why would you lie?
Because you all hate it.
It's not
I
that I
don't-
hate it, it's that I don't know it.
And until we know more about it, we should keep it confined. Did it tell you not to tell us?
No.
Did Topaz tell you not to tell us? I mean, fuck.
Lobu.
Lobu?
Actually, it was Lobo's idea that, and she's like writing this out. She just writes out that like,
Lobu.
it was Lobo's idea to tell you guys about it, and like try to convince you guys that we keep it.
We
Noxie,
just need
put the doll in the
to
bag.
make. Go ahead.
I was just telling Noxie to put the doll in the bag.
We just need to make sure it's safe.
If I may ask, the doll, does it come across as a curse?
Grizz?
Oh, I thought you were asking this in character.
No, I was asking, does it come across as a curse through detect magic?
Not in the sense that you're asking about. No.
So it's not like a cursed item that can be removed.
It's not something that would inflict a curse on another by holding it or using it in any fashion. No.
Thank you.
Noxie, if you put the doll back in the bag of holding, I will make Squish a saddle for you.
Shakes her.
She what?
She shakes her head.
It was trying to tell Noxie some stuff that we couldn't understand for some reason, and also it's talking now about another colored faction, a blue faction.
Blue faction. Is this in addition to the three factions that are at war with each other, basically?
Yeah,
Oh.
Are we going through the rainbow?
apparently.
Noxie, can you just...
Nazi, can I see it? I won't put it in the bag of holding right away.
Noxie hands the doll to Dovin.
You
Thank
hear
you.
some tinkling noises as as its cap is just like moved back and forth, given over to Dovin. Tinkling
just
little
gonna-
bells.
I'm just gonna look it over very carefully. I'm just trying to figure out is
Fumble's
this
gonna
worth
walk
the risk.
and take a good look. because she's curious as to what is going on.
So Fumble, then roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Because I rolled it last time. Oop. We're getting a lot of crits like that.
All right.
Do I need to hear, or do I need to take off my headset for a minute?
I would say take off your headset for a minute. It's just
Okay.
talking to Fumble.
So it doesn't pass over the link?
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I'm talking to Grizz. Can you let Dutch on?
Fine.
All right. So, Fumble, while Cogsworth is, busy with the rest of your mind, you feel different for a moment. You feel like yourself in a space as if you have your own body and you're alone and without Cogsworth, but there's another presence here. And you just hear like the tinkling of the bells that were like on the cap of this doll. You hear a voice going, "Oh, new friend. Hi. Ooh, this looks like you're in the similar spot. Oh, poor.
You're stuck somewhere you're not supposed to be, too?
Oh, well, I've always been stuck in some ways, but the most. And then you see these weird characters just kind of float in the air. It's reminiscent of, like, in the real world, like, old Looney Tunes cartoons where, like, a character would hold up a sign, but it's, like, all text, but, you can't read any of it because it's really a curse word.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of, like, blanked out like that. Like, there's no sound, and it's just text floating in the air like that. I was like, But it seems like you have some of a problem, too. Very sad.
Yeah.
The
I wish I could get
the
out.
musical one who was supposed to save an empire but brought it to its knees instead.
What? Are you talking about me?
Well, yes. Yes, very much so.
What do you mean? Was supposed to save an empire?
And the doll seems to be thinking for a moment. And you see this image flash through your head of someone in a mask, in a wide hall, chanting. You're looking up at them. You're trying to scream, and they've got a knife. And that's all you see for a moment, until you're snapped back to this space.
What happened?
That was you. You don't remember?
No, I only ever remember being stuck with Cogsworth.
That was before Cogsworth. Before.
There was a before?
Yes. He saved you. He saved what he could of you.
From what?
He saved... It seems to be getting those characters again. Like, there's things that can't say for some reason.
Is there a way I can get my body back?
I think so. I hope so.
How? Do you know how?
And it thinks for a moment. And then it says, yes and no. Don't trust hags. Do not trust hags, especially night hags. They're bad. Very bad. They do terrible things. And at this point, you kind of get knocked, probably, I imagine, with Cogsworth asking, fumble, 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 possibly, over and over.
Huh. I
What?
think we should keep the doll out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So
Dylan's just gonna put his hand to his face.
It
He's
knows
so upset.
it knew something about my past.
yeah, it knows something about all of us, but I don't like it.
I was sacrificed.
Didn't say anything.
Well,
Didn't say anything personal.
Look,
What
that's
was that
it. In the bag. In the bag until we get better minds than ours to sort this out.
I was sacrificed and Cogsworth saved
It's dark
And-
in the bag for it.
at least what he could.
that's kind of intense.
But there's a way. There's a way I can get my body back.
What
But
is it?
all the doll told me was don't trust.
Don't trust what?
Night hags.
Hmm.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yours
because
could
everybody
probably-
usually trusts them anyway.
And the doll said something when I first got there, like, oh, the one that was the musical one that was supposed to save an empire but watched it fall instead. And then it showed me I don't know if it was a vision or what, but a hooded person standing in front of me, holding a knife to me, and then the whole night hag thing, and that's it.
When did it do all this? Just now?
Yes.
Is
The
that why
sign.
it went dark on me?
Can
get
I hold the doll
feeling
again?
It just what?
Can I hold the doll again? She's showing the sign.
And what did Topaz
No,
ask?
it already took you over once. Put the fucking thing in the bag.
Keep the doll out of the bag.
We're putting the doll in the bag.
What if? But I
Look,
don't.
I
I don't
understand
think it
that we
likes
want-
the dark.
I don't care what it likes. It's possessed at least half of us at this point, and while I understand your
No,
desire to know more, this isn't the way to do it.
she
This
she
isn't-
said she's trapped.
That's not really my concern here.
Roland,
It's
Yeah.
like she.
you spoke to it, but you're not saying it needs to be in the bag. You're literally the only one.
I don't like how it takes over people's bodies. I don't like how it knows about our pasts, and I don't like how it's a sentient doll. But that's it.
I put it back in the bag of holding.
Thank you.
All right. So I thought it was still being held by Fumble, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think I gave it back to anybody yet.
What? Fumble's holding what?
Fumble's
doll.
the one that was holding the doll. So
Tobin
Fumble...
had the doll.
Yeah, I had the doll.
Oh, okay. That's right. Fumble was just looking at the doll. Never mind. So Dovin just dropped the doll back into the bag of holding, which is now
Yeah.
more or less empty except for the doll.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with you that the doll isn't evil. But we have to consider the fact that it knows things that it shouldn't know. And that's dangerous.
Yes, and its purposes are its own. We've got enough on our plate dealing with no less than 3 factions that are trying to take over the world, or at least the teleportation circles. And we've got a war to fight back in Saltmarsh.
Well,
If we're going
if
to
we
carry
go-
this thing around, let's get it off the ship and somewhere with people that know more than we do about it, a higher level mage than we have, and can tell us something about it.
Can we put some sort of light down in there?
No, we're not putting light in the bag for the fucking doll.
but-
No.
I would like to point out that Dredd did mention that there was nothing evil coming off the doll.
That doesn't mean it isn't bad.
That means nothing.
If I
No
can,
offense to you, Dredd. I do trust your judgment, but this thing is obviously not good.
if I may finish, Dredd received no evil presence from the doll, and the magic I identified off of it is transmutation. We have no reason to trust it yet, but Topaz did have it right, where we probably pass it on to someone who knows more about this.
Right,
If
and
someone
not
is
on a
truly
ship.
trapped,
Not on a
maybe they
ship
can
where
free
we're all
it.
trapped in close proximity to each other.
But this could be my only chance to my body back.
Oh, you'll have another chance. Oh my God.
If this person can free the doll, maybe they can free you. Maybe the same magic on the doll will be able to.
I'm gonna look over at Topaz, and you can tell that if a Warforged could cry, they probably would be.
Like a little bit of steam,
Yeah.
or like. Yeah,
Your empathy sucks, Topaz.
I have plenty of empathy for this thing, but
And
I also am
probably
worried.
why.
All right, I guess we're going over here now. Bye, guys.
I
Great. Now we have a crying automaton.
I heard that.
Fuck you, Topaz.
Sorry. GM finds the situation amusing.
we will help this doll if it needs help. If this is someone or something that needs our help,
All
we
right.
will help it.
As you're telling this to people, you notice that Noxie is handing Lobu a note.
I'm not making any such promise as that. I'll happily help Fumble find her body or whatever it is she's trying to do. But I'll be damned if I'm going to help that doll with whatever aims it has.
After all the conversation and like a decent check, that I remembered something that I'd forgotten from a previous episode. I think there's a person trapped in there.
Well, then it sucks to be them.
I feel like that's a really big thing, Lobu. That just went one ear right out the other for you. Lobu, what the fuck?
Like I said, I'm not saying we're not going to do anything with it. Let's take it to better minds than ours. That's all.
I'm inclined to agree, Topaz.
Absolutely.
Because we're so fucking fully functional all the time.
We're pretty functional.
Noxie just starts cleaning your room. Or at least organizing it, because there's a bunch of trash on the floor.
And counting all
There's
the
trash everywhere. It's up to your bed, Noxie.
When, as everyone's going about their business, they hear from the depths of the ship, "I'm all sticky again."
Shut up and take it, okay?
Wording.
I was about to say, that sounds like a lot like what Volan and Topaz would
I'm
also be saying at this point.
taking her back in the room. This is gonna be angry fucking sex now. That's fine.
It normally isn't.
You see nothing yet.
Beware of rug burns, Bolin.
Yeah, those two were cursing together. Topaz was completely naked during that entire interchange.
Yeah.
But no one really cared. We were
No
too busy.
one blinks an eye. That says more than anything. Everybody, that's just Topaz.
It's also they're used to it by now, and also because you belong to Volan, and they're not gonna get in the middle of that. So, okay.
Death thief.
Is there anything else you guys wish to do for this particular evening?
I tell Volan, I could probably handle that stupid thing. I'm not even going to say it, but after that little event with the vampire trying to take over my mind, I worked on my meditations a bit more, and I think that I could resist it. I'm not saying for sure. I think I could. If it comes down to it, maybe I should be the one to handle it.
I don't disagree with you.
I'm going.
Probably best prepared for it.
But last resort, I'd rather just leave it in the bag until we can get it to somewhere else. They can put wards on it and
yeah, I don't
study
touch
it.
that thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna help Noxie start cleaning her room while asking, "What's the plan to get the doll out of the bag?"
While I'm down here, I'll look and see if I can see Cell. Can I see Cell anywhere?
Sure. While you guys are doing your private planning, I will talk to Dread.
Fumble.
All right. So while the doll friends are planning their little heist, you sit in your room, meditate, and open your sight and see Cell standing nearby.
Let's see. What do you know about this doll?
She seems to think for a moment. The doll. I didn't see a doll per se, but my way of seeing things is slightly different from yours. It's weird. There are overlapping images around it. It's been someone that's been form changed, but it looks like there's a lot of layers of enchantment over them, and over them for a long time. Like the person that they think that they are in the inside, or what they feel that they should have been, is so radically different from their outward appearance that the image of their soul is just different, and it's hard to pin down. But that's not a doll per se. That's it. It's been something that's been changed to resemble a doll and stuck.
So, in your opinion, we should help it or her or him or whatever?
I I think it would be an act of good to attempt to break whatever curse it's under. Yes. What it does after that is its choice, not on you, not on me, not on the rest of your companions.
Uh, so, uh, what would be the best to look for, a cleric or a wizard to help find out what they are?
Depends on the curse, but I would say that a wizard would be a better choice.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions for Sel, or shall I switch back to the planners?
Yeah, I guess you can switch back.
All right. Do you guys wish to continue to plan out in the open, or shall I bring you down to a different group to talk?
Well, so Lobu had a question.
Sure.
Yeah, can I contact Fumble with Awakened Mind, but not
Yes.
Cogsworth?
Yes, you can.
Would they know this though?
Would who know what?
Would they know for a fact that I can't hear? Or would they be trying to talk in code just in case?
They wouldn't necessarily know, but Fumble would be aware if you were there or not, because Fumble was aware earlier when you were when she was alone without you.
It was very nice.
Mm.
So, do you three what wish to be in an alone group?
Yeah,
Can
just
Awakened
real
Mind do three-way calls?
Yes.
Yeah, we
They
did
talked
that.
about-
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, Lebu awakens mind to Noxie and to Fumble, but not Cogsworth, leaving the poor Cogsworth to not sure what the hell's going on, with Lebu and Noxie standing there quietly, and Fumble going completely silent. Whoops, sorry, my bad.
Spaced for a little
Sorry,
while.
I didn't realize I wasn't in there. I was talking to the rest of the group by accident. Yeah, Lubu uses Awakened Mind to talk to Noxie and Fumble, but without Cogsworth. Cogsworth, unfortunately, is standing there looking at the silent Lubu and Noxie, and for a while can't hear Fumble either.
Well, I made Cogsworth take off his headset, so he's not even.
Okay. But you can relay that
hi.
if you want.
Oh, hi, Fumble. I don't think you've heard my voice before. I'm Noxie.
Oh shit! She talks. Hi.
I guess I do in my head. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Midnight Group.
Ooh, that's good.
I get to be a part of two groups now.
We should
So, mirror on the doll.
mirror on the doll.
How do
I
we get
think-
the doll out of the bag?
That's a good question.
I used to be a burglar, so I could probably take the doll from Dovin.
How do I get num? Say it.
Kind of missed what you were saying.
How do I get Cogsworth not to like notice or say anything to alert me?
Well, Cogsworth doesn't know about the mirror, does he? Like, doesn't know that we're planning to use the mirror.
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I don't feel him here, so I assume he.
I think this is what we should do. I think Noxie, you should go in. I should stand outside and pretend to. Wait, how tall are you?
I am. Oh, let me look on the sheet.
I am. I don't know.
5.
Okay, well, I can't disguise myself as you unless I'd be a really big version of you. But maybe that will be enough to confuse a sleepy Dovin if we accidentally wake him up. Um, but I'll stand outside, pretend to look like you, maybe use a minor illusion to just really confuse the hell out of him if he catches wind. And then you can run the doll to fumble.
And I'll pull out the mirror.
Yeah.
So how much longer until we can use the mirror?
Oh,
Well, at the
right.
moment, it is evening.
So this is more like a early morning plan.
Yeah, I
Crack of
say.
dawn.
Mm-hmm. Doll heist.
Doesn't Dovin normally meditate in the morning?
That's true.
How early does he get? I mean, I guess it technically just has to be at dawn.
Yeah, as long as. I mean, it. I don't know. All I really
Where-
need to do is take the bag of holding, take the doll out of it, and then put the bag of holding back so he doesn't notice it's gone.
Right. And then where am I going to stand with the mirror?
I don't think Cogsworth. I mean, by the time we get the mirror and the doll together, it'll be too late. We'll be able to do what we want.
Well, he knows I'm going to use the mirror on myself. So he knows I plan on using it. I wish there was a way with it.
You could just go up to the deck at dawn, tell him you're going to use the mirror on yourself, and then Noxie will slip by and do the handoff, the old handoff.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could work because Cogsworth wouldn't really want to interrupt,
You just need
risk
to take-
me seeing something else, something of his instead of mine.
You can take control of his hand for a split second, right?
Yeah.
And then we can easily do the handoff without him noticing.
Works for me.
Alright, is that the plan?
Operation Doll Heist, initiate.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
You guys are amazing.
We got the information there.
So,
True.
the only question is, do you guys want to continue on for a bit longer tonight, or do we want to wait till next week to do anything else?
I guess it's up to them. But Dred would like to try to talk to the doll.
Alright, so Dread is, do you guys, Dread, do you wish to wait till the morning, or do you wish to do it now, in the evening while I think everybody is starting to bed down to sleep?
Probably. I probably should wait until everybody's awake in case I go berserk or something.
Okay.
Yes,
So
if we
how
get
long-
interrupted again, it's going to be hell to pay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So how long were they staring at each other?
Well, they seem to be staring at each other for several minutes without making a noise, and you couldn't hear Fumble at all in your head.
God damn it, Fumble.
What?
I know you were talking.
Yes. I'm sorry that I want to figure out how to keep Squish as happy as possible.
Yeah, that your main concern is not Squish.
It is Squish. I love Squish.
So, do you guys, by the way, leave the island in the middle of the night? In the evening, or do you guys stay moored nearby?
We better move. If we feed
Okay.
that octopus some meat, we should at least move
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. So, like, you basically start your way down towards, back towards, the city, Orin. Unless you wish to go to Saltmarsh, do you wish to go to Orin or Saltmarsh? Which direction? are you
Orin.
guys in? Okay. So
Yeah.
then, at this point, you should be able to get there by midday tomorrow.
Okay. And then we got to give the box to Whoever.
Thalia knows who.
Okay.
Okay.
And is that a bigger town city than Saltmarsh?
Yes, it is. Saltmarsh is a town. Orin is an ancient city.
We should probably seek a sage or someone here about this doll.
Yes, agree.
So Volan, you'd probably be fast asleep at this point. Topaz, it's morning. What time are you? Are you staying awake in the evening? Sorry, in the middle of the night, or are you waking up in the middle of the night to be awake before morning for your elf sleep?
Well, uh, it was probably I probably did my trance in the early morning hours once we were
Okay.
through, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
get up early anyway because I go out and jump in the water and.
Okay. So you're out. You're basically there's a splash and you're out.
Yes, that clears my head.
Okay. So the rest of you can go get on with what you're trying to get on. Well, Volan sleeps. Dread, are you a heavy sleeper or did you get up early?
I would probably get up early this time.
Okay. Then you may go along and be awake at the same time as the other three.
Okay.
I'm guessing we're just sleeping the bare minimum and then playing with Squish.
No, I was gonna use the mirror in the morning to look at it.
So wait
So-
till dawn and then immediately do the thing.
Yeah, Fumble's super excited, so she's just like sitting there, like, come on.
Yeah, she's waiting for the mirror.
When does this mirror recharge again?
Done.
We've been sitting here for hours. I'm getting rusty.
Nice. So, Dovin, how late do you sleep?
I don't.
You know? Oh, that's right. You're. Well, that's right. It's part of your druid thing, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. But I don't sleep.
So you're also not getting into dreams, correct?
No, I don't get any dreams with this level up. But I'm not sleeping. I'm
Okay.
spending the night awake, thinking about the situation, thinking about what Dread told me, and yeah.
And the rays of dawn start coming in through the window. Did you say that was part of your druid thing, or are you just taking a level in exhaustion? I think I'm feeling confused because you're like a circle of dreams and.
Yeah, so if I take a rest, I get like a special. Actually, let me double check that actually.
So I'm checking for dream purposes here, in case you're sleeping, and see if there's any dream things I need to show you.
No. Oh, during a short rest, I can invoke shadowy power of a gleaming court to help guard your respite. Okay, yeah. So,
Cool.
I touch a space in my room, and a 30-foot radius of magic appears. It's just sort of like a shadowy kind of area. So basically, my room.
Yeah.
And I become, it just helps me. And I just sort of sit in there and I just think, and
Okay.
yeah. And I am taking a level of exhaustion for this.
Okay. Noxie and Lebu, what do you wish to do?
Noxie's gonna climb on the top of the deck
Okay.
and kind of climb down and peek through the window that's right here.
Okay. You probably see Dovin in his thinking posture.
Lobu's gonna listen at the door.
Roll a perception check, please, Lebu. You don't really hear much of anything in there.
Lobu, what
All
you
right.
doing?
I'm just hanging out.
Quick question. Are there windows in the doors to the cabins?
No.
Is there a way to get into the room through the window?
You're a burglar, so you probably have the skills to maneuver through that pane of glass that's in there.
Hey, Cox,
Yes.
since I'm gonna use the mirror,
Yes.
and I don't want you to get in the way. Like, I don't want it to accidentally see something for
So-
you and not me.
So Cogsworth and Fumble, please roll perception real quick.
There's fumbles. And there's Cogsworth.
Yeah, out of the corner of your eye, Cogsworth, even as you and Fumble are debating, you notice that Dread has come up to the deck and seems to be heading towards Lobu and Dovin's room.
Hey, Dread, could you please keep an eye on Dovin for me? These ones were planning something. I couldn't tell what, though.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is Dovin's eyes open when he does like just sits and thinks?
Dovin?
Yeah. I mean, he's just sort of like sitting on his hammock. He's like looking at Callie.
Snip, 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 snip.
Yeah. He's kind of like he's got his chin in his hands. He's sort of leaning on his knees, and he's just kind of looking at Callie. Maybe he might like ask Callie the odd question or two, but really he's just asking rhetorical questions.
He's going to enter the room quietly, as quietly as he
Dovin,
Oh.
does your shield thing still stay up at dawn, or does it go away at this point?
The sphere vanishes at the end of the rest or when you leave the sphere. Oh, so it doesn't stay up during a... I guess that's a little weird because I'm not doing a short rest or a long rest.
Okay, so it was a temporary thing that lasted like an hour. Got it.
Exactly.
So it's gone by now.
Yeah.
So roll a stealth check, Noxie, if you wish to be unheard by Dovin. But you get it at... thank you. And at the moment, Dread, are you knocking on Dovin's door?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you kind of like see Lobu standing there, and you go ahead and knock. Dovin, you hear a knock at your door. You do not hear your window opening.
I accidentally GM rolled it, but yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. No, I thought it made
Alright.
more thematic sense for you to GM roll that anyway. I thought you were doing that on purpose. So yeah, you don't hear Noxie entering your cabin, and doubly so because you hear Dread knocking on your door.
Would Callie have a chance to see Noxie?
Ow!
Roll perception for Callie.
Probably not, because this is freaking Noxie we're talking about.
Yeah, Callie does not notice Noxie at all. Noxie is essentially almost invisible.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna open the door for Dread. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Noxie, you have 1 moment to attempt to do what you're doing before Dread and Dovin interrupt your plans.
Alright, I am going to GM roll this on purpose.
Okay. Yeah. So you've done it. You still have the same stealth, and there's another door behind you that you can slip out of.
I will do so.
You do that just as Dovin's coming in, and just as Red is coming in. Like nobody notices you running around the other side.
I would like to note that Fumble at this point has the mirror like ready.
Okay. So Dread, what are you doing as you're coming in?
Here comes Noxie.
I say, I need to speak to the doll.
I reach into the bag of holding and
Find it's gone.
I just lower my head and just sigh. Somebody took it.
Somebody took it.
Gods be damned.
Dovin, you're an intelligence person. You know of only one person who could possibly have done it. You don't know how or when, but you know that there's only one possible reason the doll could have gotten out of that bag of holding.
Indeed. And I step out and I see Lobu. Dovin is fucking tired. He spent all day casting a spell. He didn't sleep.
Oh, hey, bud, how you doing?
Just one thing.
Where is it?
I mean, Who do you think could have possibly
I
done
grab you by the collar and I push you against the door.
it? Hey, man. Who do you think could have done it? Do you think it was me? I'm kind of sneaky, but
Where is she?
I'd check her room if I were you.
I go to Noxie's room.
I'll stay here where I am. Move here, actually.
I'm gonna minor illusion just a regular view of the sea in front of Dred's periphery towards the door.
Oh, can I make?
Yes, wisdom saving throw, I believe it is.
Wisdom saving throw.
It's either wisdom saving throw or intelligence. What's it listed on the minor illusion there, Lebu?
Intelligence for minor illusion.
Okay, intelligence then.
Grab the-
There's my sheet. Oh, intelligence save. That's gonna be much harder, technically.
What's your spell save DC?
Oh, it's pretty low. It's 13.
Oh,
It's an investigation check.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I don't have.
Oh, that's worse. That means the paladin will get his bonus. Shit.
It's the investigation.
oh yeah. You notice that the air in front of your eyes is just wavering, as if there's like a secondary image that looks exactly like the first, but it's like 1 second off to your clever eyes.
So it's kind of covering this door here, sort of.
Nope, directly in front of your eyes. Not covering the door at
Oh.
all.
So I'll step here.
Noxie, what are you up to?
I heard Dread walking around, so I'm gonna listen to see if he's right in front of the door.
And she, the roll a perception check to see if you can hear her or not. Yeah, you hear her standing out there. Fumble, are you just sitting there during all this, or are you moving anywhere?
I'm waiting with the mirror.
Okay, got
That
it.
is what I was
You're not
told
moving.
to
Got it.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fumble's waiting for dawn.
Looking
And
at Lobu.
Cogsworth
It,
is standing
it,
back.
it is dawn now, actually. The dawn rays
Yeah.
are coming out.
Looking at Lobu, I say it's important we know where that doll is. I need to speak to it to find out who it actually is, Lobu. Sal spoke to me last night and told me it's not a doll. It's, in her eyes, it's a person that's been forcefully transformed into look like a doll. And I want to know who it is.
actually- That's foremost on my mind as well this morning. If you
So
must
why is it gone?
Okay. My internet dropped. Whoops.
Uh,
All right. So I wanted to climb
We're
up.
trying. Sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to climb up here, do a running jump over
Okay.
Dread.
Got it. Roll acrobatics.
Where's this running jump?
Oh, yeah, you're fine. You drop down right next to Cogsworth / Fumble.
All right.
oh,
I'm
so
The exchange.
I take full control of the extremities, grab
So-
this doll, and throw it in front of the mirror.
Okay.
Can I
This
attempt
is-
to resist?
This is gonna be roll a wisdom saving throw, please. Please, Cogsworth.
let's see. Can I see this and kind of cast hold person on Noxie as she's doing this?
All right. I need a wisdom saving throw also from Fumble.
Am I noticing any of this?
You're in the water now. Oh no. Cogsworth rests control. What does Cogsworth want you to do? The doll has been
I'm just
dropped
gonna
on you. The
stop
mirror. You're
And
holding
ask
the
what
mirror.
their intentions are. That's literally all.
Dread, you see the
I
doll
just wanna
spill
see.
out onto the ground in front of each of you.
There's obviously a person in there somewhere that's stuck. I want to
Okay.
see what's going on.
I step up and pick it up.
I'm going to
I'm not
try
letting-
to contest that.
I'm not letting go of the doll at the moment
Uh,
because I want to hear what's
Sleight
going
sleight
on.
of hand check from Noxie and just acrobatics.
So is no
from,
one hearing what
from
I'm
Dread.
saying?
Yes, but the
Yeah.
doll's in front of you, and those two are contesting over it at the moment. You and Fumble were chatting with each other.
Oh, no, I thought Fumble already had,
had
the
the
doll.
doll.
No,
Did not-
you wrest control out of her, from away from her at the right moment, and the doll instead slid onto the ground.
Okay.
So Dread and Noxie are both trying to pick it up at the moment.
What contest? What role would you?
You
make
get
here?
sleight of hand, Dread. I believe acrobatics would be better.
Or
Let's-
I think pure dex would.
Or, I mean, acrobatics is the dex roll.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
yeah.
No acrobatics.
I want to cast Call Lightning
What?
because this shit needs to stop right now. There are going to be lightning bolts coming from down from the sky. My eyes are just glowing blue,
Oh god.
and Dovin is so fucking mad at himself and at this whole damn situation.
It's like
Okay,
it's
surely-
like your kids in their teenage years all over again, right,
That
Devin?
has to draw some attention.
Yeah. Topaz, roll a perception check.
Are you attacking up the skull lightning, or are you just casting it?
I think he's just
I'm
casting
just
it.
casting it. There is lightning.
T-
there's
Topaz,
lightning, like,
for some
striking the
reason, you
water.
don't notice at all. You're deep down into the water,
Yeah, I'm done.
engaged in
more.
whatever you're doing, and the lightning and the thunder do not even reach you.
How about
do not reach
Volan?
you. Volan, you roll a perception check to see if you're still asleep. Your eyes flick open the moment you hear thunder and lightning, and you're hearing people yell outside your door, especially Dovin, who seems to be yelling amplified.
Alright, so I see the doll disappear.
You see,
technically.
yeah, Noxie now has the doll.
Yeah,
Stop.
I'm not hiding that I have it.
Cogsworth has the mirror.
Doc now she needs to make a wisdom save, DC 16.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Noxie is frozen in place.
I kind of look at her and I take the doll out of her hand.
Yeah.
Stop this madness. What are you doing?
She can't talk. She's been held. She
it
can't
go.
even. Yeah, I'll drop the whole person, making sure the doll's out of reach.
All right.
Okay, it dropped again. That's cool. My internet. God.
It's okay. You had a whole person on you went away for a moment. But Cogsworth has the mirror. Dread has the doll. Dovin is currently hurling lightning about. Topaz is under the water and doesn't notice anything. Volan is pretending none of this is happening, and Lobu is just standing there.
I look at Nox and I said, "Will you let me talk to the doll, please?"
Will you let us use the mirror on the doll after?
If I don't get the information, I will.
Seems amenable. Midnight Crew?
Midnight Crew. But Noxie can't write signs, so she can't.
Oh, you're
No,
right.
it dropped. It dropped.
Oh,
You're frozen for a
dropped.
moment.
Yeah, what are all our sailors doing?
They're standing around trying to keep the ship on course, and some of them are just shaking their heads, going, what the? Like, maybe this isn't worth the money we're being paid.
What money?
I haven't written down how much they got paid. They got paid up front. They got paid some of them their wages up front. But let's see. We'll talk to Dread now. All right. So, in some ways, similar to the way you zoned out sometimes with Cell, you find yourself kind of in a mental, just your mental space, like, dark, light, whatever you kind of picture it. And you hear, like, the jingling of bells. Huh. I haven't spoken to you yet.
No, we need to talk. I know more about you than probably the others do. I've spoken to Cell, and I know that you've been trapped somehow.
Yes, her. Oh, that poor woman. Yes. The worst day of her life, the last day of her life, when she, her husband, and children were all slaughtered.
So, are you someone that we all knew in the past?
Oh. I don't think you've met me in the past. You may have met me in the future. Sometimes it's all unclear.
Ah, I see. So we might be a future person we've met. So you're not. Oh, I can't think of her name now. It's the merchant we met that we left at the lizard.
No.
village.
No. Definitely not there. I'm not a merchant type. No. No, I've been called many things, but I haven't been a merchant.
So, will this mirror help you any, or will it just tell
You
me
know,
what
I
to
don't
tell?
know. That's curious. The mirror, that's the mirror of the past, tends to show things at different intervals. It often shows early days, like the beginning of a life, or sometimes an important sequence, depending. Of course, that could be
So,
anything. There's a lot of different things, like for me, depending on time. Could even be stuff from the future that hasn't happened yet to me.
yeah, the mirror won't see future events, will it? Though.
Oh, well, who knows with me?
All right. Well, looks like we're going to be using a mirror then.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Please do so. I don't want to get back into that bag. It's all dark in there.
Good luck in convincing the others about that.
All right.
Not this
I thought-
time. No.
Okay.
I thought I was being thought I had to make throws.
You guys dove in as the big bad guy, right?
Dread is back, guys.
Yeah, I'm back, and I look at Doman, and I put the doll in front of the mirror, and I say, "Go ahead."
All right. So, an image has in the view, but it's incredibly difficult for anybody looking at it to make sense of it. As you guys kind of crowd around the mirror to look, you seem to be from the perspective of someone's eyes. You're looking out at a strange room. It looks like there's a lot of metal. There's a lot of light that's just flashing, but you don't see any candles anywhere. Maybe magical lights or something along those lines. And all sorts of just weird contraptions that just, some of it looks a little bit alchemical, but it's hard to tell. And there are these people standing around. They're all wearing white, and they appear to be wearing like little badges or something like that with weird writing on it. And they do appear to be human. But you see mostly humans of various kinds. Though the two out in front have very similar coloring and builds. One is a man. He's older. He's a bit of salt and pepper hair, um, blue eyes, kind of like steel blue, and kind of a goatee with a bit of salt in there. And the other is a young woman, probably in her mid-20s, similar dark hair, blue eyes, and she appears to have some kind of what you could identify as a clipboard, and seems to be writing on it and taking measurements. And then the scene starts to fade and change, and you see the woman again, but this time most of the people in that place, except for the man that you saw that clearly related to her, most of them seem to be dead on the ground, and there are several figures, several cloaked figures, just kind of standing around, waving things at her, in her direction. And she's getting very close to wherever you're looking out from, and there's a sudden surge of light, and the entire mirror lights up. And around you, on the deck, those cloaked figures suddenly appear. There's 5 of them.
Oh,
And that woman appears on the deck as well, crashing to the ground. And that is where we'll stop for this week.
huh. I never thought it would be a bad idea.